Hello, good evening, and all that good stuff. We're live for a massive game, actually, in League One today. Stevenage against Birmingham, not the League One, League One. Stevenage against Birmingham City. Birmingham City flying high, top of League One, secured the promotion to the Championship a long, long time ago. However, they are on course for something that we could be set for something that's never happened before in English League history. We could be witnessing this with Birmingham. They are on course to break the points record of any team in over 130 years of English football. They need 8 points from a possible 12 in their last 4 games. If they can do that, they will break the points record. They need 107, I believe, to break the points record. They're on 99 currently. A point tonight gets them over the 100 mark away to Stevenage. Now, I'm really intrigued to see how Birmingham get on today because obviously they're coming up to the Championship. You know, there's a lot expected of Birmingham. There's a big sort of expectation with Birmingham, isn't there? That, you know, these new owners, they're gonna really push forward the new stadium potentially as well, and all this sort of maybe they're, you know, looking to get back in amongst the Premier League as well, which they were in not all that long ago. It feels like. You know, winning the League Cup at Wembley against Arsenal. All of that. That's a great part of Birmingham's history, and I'm sure they want to get back to that. So tonight is just another step on that journey, but they could really break the English points record before the end of this season. So that's what we'll be looking out for. I'm just setting up everything tonight. Just give me 1 second. Still setting the stream up. We're live. It's 7:45 p.m. is the kickoff tonight. 7:45 p.m. So we are. There you go. Just double checking everything's all good. Jaden, how you doing? Are you having a good day? I am, mate. Yes, I am. I'm just seeing if I can get the chat working. It should be pulling through now. I'm hoping it comes through. Rubes, you had a haircut. I have had a haircut, mate. Yes, I have. I've had a haircut. FM No Casuals, red cards galore in La Liga at the minute. Is it really? Right. I've got a new. 3 days in a row watching this live. Oh, God. Listen, I'm live every day. I'm live every single day. If there's football on, I'm live. You know me. If there's football on, I'm live. I was gonna do Osasuna and Sevilla in La Liga, but I had a prior commitment. So I switched just to, and to be honest, I also thought we would have a similar issue to what we had last night with Inter Milan and AC Milan. That game started bang on 8 o'clock, and we had Celta Vigo against Villarreal, which started at 6. So I thought to myself, well, we watched the 6 o'clock game. That should be going off by about 7:45, maybe 10 to 8. Actually, it was only just finishing bang on 8 o'clock. So we had no time to build up to the Inter Milan game. So we was cutting it really fine with that. And Birmingham kicks off 15 minutes earlier tonight. So I thought, best not. We're going to stick with what we've got. I don't know why this isn't working. It needs to. I need to see things on the chat. Why is it not working? I've got a new widget, and it isn't showing. Got a brand new widget, but it isn't having it. That's grim. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind. Looks like that's not working. Let me see if I can get this going again. Because it's really poor at the minute, this start that we've had. I'm testing some new things out, forgive me If you're new around here, again, this isn't usually how it's. We're not usually this disorganised. But I'm really, really trying to sort out that. There you go. That's what we wanted. That's better. And now, if I can drag that across, bang, that should work. Right. There should be no issues with the clock tonight. However, annoyingly, frustratingly, I think the widgets that I have installed aren't working. I did have a nice little scoreboard popping up on this side. This side, there was a lovely little scoreboard popping up there. You know, league tables and stats and all that sort of thing. But for whatever reason, it isn't working. And I'm annoyed. So I'm still trying to figure all that out. You can tell I'm not a pro, can't you? Rubes, we'd rather see your beautiful face. Hell. I mean, shucks. Right, we'll bin that then, because it ain't working. Absolute nonsense. So let's just preview tonight's game. Birmingham against Stevenage. It's kind of a non-event in terms of the League One table and everything. When you look at the table, you know, Stevenage aren't going anywhere. Birmingham are already top and comfortably top by a good 13 points. And they have 2 games in hand on Wrexham as well. But as I say, a point for Birmingham tonight takes them over the 100 points mark, which very few teams in history, would you believe, have actually been able to do in English football. And also, as I said at the start of this stream, if they do get 3 wins, 3 wins, or even just 8 points, 8 points out of the remaining 12 points available, they will break the English points record, which is, over 130 years of football. Incredible, that. We could be witnessing history this season with Birmingham City. Top scorers, as you'd expect, Jay Stansfield right near the top. Alfie May as well, not too far behind. So, is Jay Stansfield starting tonight? He isn't. It's Alfie May up front. Stansfield is on the bench. 2 South Korean, Lee Myung-jae and Paik Sung-ho. Leonard. Luke Harris is one to watch. Grant Hanley, of course. Gardner Hickman, Kieran Dowell. Ben Davis, ex-Liverpool, Ben Davis. I forgot he was at Birmingham. Keshi Anderson and Ryan Alsop in goal. For Stevenage, it's Ashby Hammond, Butler, Freestone, Good, Daniel Phillips, Reed, Roberts, Sweeney, White, Wilding the captain, and Lewis Apere up front. Callum the Copite, Gwed. Mason, Jason, Aviation, you alright, mate? I'm good, Mason. How are you? Good to see you. Do you think Tottenham manager will get sacked? I don't think he will. I think they are genuinely gonna win the Europa League. I seriously believe that. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I really do think it's gonna. They're gonna pull it off. I think Spurs will win that Europa League. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking about that, by the way. Right, we're gonna hide that. Should we do a poll? I can do polls now. Yeah, I can do a poll. Let me show you how I can do a poll. Surely this works now. Please let this work. Let this work. This would be amazing. If this actually comes off now. Right. Oh, okay. Right. Just as a pure... I don't know where I'm going to put it. Right, we'll put it there. Poll. That's a bit too big, isn't it? come on. Sort your life out. Right, can we witness that? Can we see that? Who is winning the Europa? I'm learning. I'm trying. For some reason, I mean, I didn't choose that background, by the way. It looks nothing like that on the actual poll background. But if you... So you vote by typing the name of the team in. Type the name of one of the teams in and see if it affects the poll for me. Just type Arsenal in, or not Arsenal, Bilbao or Bordeaux Glimt. Type in the team in the chat that you think is going to do it. That should trigger the poll. According to this app that I've done, it should trigger the poll, and it isn't. It isn't. Oh my god. Oh, lads. Lads and lasses. Yeah, alright. Okay, I've had a mare. I need to work on it. We'll cancel the poll. It ain't working. It's absolute garbage, that app. I was dead. Honestly, I've been buzzed off today. I was like, I've got this done. I'm going to make it all look nice and fancy. We're going to start the stream early. We're going to be bang on it. As soon as it starts. Useless. Oh, hang on a minute. It's actually doing it now. Is it actually doing it? That's not doing it. No, it isn't doing it. Oh, for God's sake. Never mind. Thanks everyone for trying. Okay. So, we've got 30 minutes to kick off. Let's have a general chit-chat. About things. Jaden, hi. Less than 40 seconds live, any second. Bristol City fan. Good to see you. Cheers, Edward. Thanks, mate. Yeah, listen, if you can do me a massive favour and watch, if you've not already, if you've gone to YouTube and you can go and watch this on YouTube, that would make a massive, massive difference. Callum, we're going World War III. What does that mean? Does that mean the style of the trim? Low taper fade or whatever it's called. Nah, I don't know what that means. Come on, let's get the energy up. I've had a bad couple of nights in terms of energy, technical glitches. It's been a couple of really bad streams, hasn't it? We've definitely dipped below the usual intensity, I think, to be expected with Premier League Dad. The last couple have been pretty poor. Willis, what team do you support? I am a Liverpool fan, Willis. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I watch every single team going. We do Championship games. We do live watch-alongs of Championship games. League One games tonight, obviously. La Liga. We did a Coppa Italia game last night. And we do pretty much every Premier League game too. So, we're live tomorrow night for the Championship game. Stoke against Sheffield Wednesday. So, yeah, we're going to be watching Sheffield Wednesday at Stoke City tomorrow. Is it Wednesday? It's not Wednesday, is it? Who is it? Stoke against Sheffield United, isn't it? It's not Sheffield Wednesday, it's Sheffield United. Jake, side parting, Martin, Slick Flick Rick, and an Isaac fan. That as well. Yeah, I do like Isaac. Willis, did you watch Peterborough versus Brum final? I didn't watch it. I think we didn't do a live stream on it, but I did watch the highlights and stuff. The goals by Peterborough were insane, weren't they? Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I am familiar with the final and the goals and the performance by Posh. So yeah, very much so. FM No Casuals, can I just mention we have financial fair play and Birmingham spend over 30 million in League One. That's nothing, that. Peanuts, that. Up the brum, that included an R, let's keep it. Exactly, yes. Let's keep it PG. Thank you very much. Willis, have you ever been to Peterborough's ground? I haven't, no. I've been past it. There's a lad who comes in the chat here, to be honest. The lad we get in one of the regulars, one of the regular crowd who come in our chat here. And yeah, they're a big fan of Dara McAntony. But to be honest, I've only ever been past Peterborough Stadium when I've gone for, meetings and stuff across the country. Captain Blick, yo, good to see you, mate. Of course I remember you, yeah, of course I do. Mason Jason Aviation, can't wait to watch PSG v Nice tomorrow. Well, that was one I was thinking of watching, but I thought that, well, I'll let you in on a little bit of insider knowledge. Do you remember me telling you last night that the channel has secured its first sponsor? We're 3-4 months in, and we've got our first sponsor. That should be going live in the next few days, maybe the next week or so. And one of the things that they really liked about the channel, one of the things they mentioned was the fact that we stream Championship games. We do watch-alongs of Championship games, League One games, and not just Premier League games or Champions League games or one particular club. We just love football on this channel. We love football. We do live watch-alongs every single day of football games, wherever they may be. So if you love it, if you love football, get following. Why have you not followed me already? Go and subscribe. Premier League Dad, YouTube, X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all the good stuff. So yes, they said they really liked the fact that we streamed and did watch-alongs on all of those games. So I thought, why not stick with what's working? We'll do Sheffield United away at Stoke tomorrow night. So we're gonna go with that. On Saturday, are you going to do the Wrexham v Charlton game? Could be a corker. That does look like it's going to be a corker. Thanks for that, Will, by the way. No, but we're not going to do that on Saturday. On Saturday, we have a lot of Premier League games, as you imagine. So we've got a full day on Saturday. Tomorrow night, we're only going to do one game. We're going to do just that Stoke-Sheffield United one. On Saturday, we've got Chelsea-Everton, 12:30. So we'll be live from about 11:30. Then we're going to do Newcastle and Ipswich. I think that's the best game to do at 3 o'clock. Then we're going to do, at 5:15, the FA Cup semi-final, Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. Then we're going to do the Clásico, the Copa del Rey final, Barcelona against Real Madrid. And the way those two have been playing recently, that is going to be a corker. But that's a 9 o'clock kickoff. UK time. That's a 9 o'clock kickoff. So we're probably going through right all the way past 11 o'clock, maybe even to midnight if it's extra time and penalties. So get set, strap in on Saturday, because I'm going to be live from about 11 o'clock in the morning to about 12 o'clock at night without any real breaks. So just loads of football that day. Just absolutely loads of football. It's going to be great fun. Mason, Jason Aviation, no Arsenal in the Prem, can't watch my team suffer. Right, listen, I was thoroughly impressed with the Arsenal Palace game yesterday. I didn't watch it, even though a lot of the people in the chat was trying to convince me to. Some of the goals and some of the play, I actually thought Arsenal really did put a lot into the game. I was really surprised, actually. So yeah, fair enough. What do you reckon the Wrexham score will be on Saturday? I fancy Charlton, I fancy Charlton. I don't mind Wrexham, of course. I mean, I just think Charlton have played all right recently. Wrexham have been a bit flat going back to that Wigan game, that 0-0 at Wigan. They were a bit iffy at Bristol Rovers as well. So yeah, I think Charlton's probably one to watch. So I think Charlton will do him. Be close game though, very very close game. So Stevenage's home form tonight is pretty awful. Birmingham have only lost one away game in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 18 matches. So Birmingham on course to absolutely smash Stevenage tonight. I would imagine it's going to be a very decent game. I know there's no Jay Stansfield in there, but I think with Alfie May up front, Birmingham put quite a strong side out. They can cause Stevenage some real problems. So looking forward to a good game. Jay Rodriguez to score a banger, possibly. He's a big lad, him, Jay Rodriguez. He's taller than I expected. Right, it's on, by the way, for those who are interested or those who are watching it, it's on Sky Sports Plus, this game. So, yeah, if you want to watch Birmingham against Stevenage, or Stevenage against Birmingham, rather, if you want to watch it with me tonight, it's on Sky Sports Plus. Just go on to Sky Sports, go across to football. If the remote decides to work. EFL League 1. Stevenage, Birmingham. That's us. Still not coming on yet. It's still on upcoming. I imagine it'll only be on about 15 minutes or so to kick off. Well, two of Peterborough's best players are looking at going to Birmingham. Birmingham could be two massive losses, to be fair. Who are they? Who are they? Is that... one of those surely would it be Ricky J. Jones? Although saying that, he's not really had a phenomenal season for Peterborough, has he? Yeah, Ricky, I thought he might be one of them. Jake, do you watch any League 2, mate? Who do you think gets auto in the chase there? Sorry, Jaden, it won't let me turn it on until 7:45. That's fine. Yeah, I was going to say, it still says upcoming on mine. It will come on about 10 minutes before kick-off. We'll just leave it running for the time being, have a little chit-chat. Polku's a good player. Ricky J. Jones will be... how old is Ricky J. Jones now? He's got 21, 22. Yeah, he's one to watch, Ricky J. Jones and Polku, but I'm not sure whether or not the championship quality just yet. Sorry, let me just come back to your question. What was it you were saying, Jake? Yeah, so League 2, we haven't watched any League 2 yet. We haven't watched any League 2. I think the last time I looked at League 2, was it Doncaster? Was it Doncaster are close to the top? Let me get it up, actually. I've honestly not kept up with League 2. I know Walsall have just fallen off a cliff. But the last I saw, I can't remember who it was who'd overtaken them. But Walsall, I think, are probably going to sink like a stone. Their form is just absolutely... It's inexplicable what's happened to Walsall, isn't it? Absolutely inexplicable what's going on there. So, yeah. Doncaster, top on 78. Port Vale, 77. Bradford, 75. And then it's Walsall on 74. I think the top three is probably going to be those three, if I'm honest. I think Donny, Vale and Bradford are the three I would expect to come up. I just can't see Walsall turning it round. When I watched them the other day against Newport, they were lucky to get away at 0-0, even though Newport they went down to 10 men. I thought Newport were the better team for most of it. So, yeah, if I'm honest, I think Walsall are going to really, really struggle. And that's just an absolute calamity, isn't it? They've just collapsed. Bristol City fan, hi. Craig, alright mate, how's things? I'm new to the channel. I'm the same mate, support Heart of Midlothian. Nice, I like Heart of Midlothian. Been to their stadium as well. Lovely place. And Sunderland are my English team, but I watch any and every game. Great stuff, Craig. That's what we want. A bit of that on the channel. I'd like to consider myself a nice all-rounder in terms of football. I can have a reasonable conversation about any sort of level, most leagues. You know, I wouldn't necessarily profess to be an oracle, but I can have a good conversation about it. I've got some views, got some opinions, same as everyone else. But I am a Liverpool fan. I watch every single game going. If it's on. Jake, right, I'll head over to YouTube. Top man, thank you very much for that. Yeah, let's get those YouTube views up. Again, if you're intending to watch the stream and you want to help me out, get over to YouTube and watch it on YouTube. Makes a massive, massive difference to me, believe it or not. And it's no different. It's really no different. I interact with the chat on YouTube. I interact with the chat on TikTok. I interact with the chat on Twitch and everywhere else. Finn4447, I've been a few Stockport games. Good team, good fans. They play the second best football behind Birmingham. Yeah, there was a few people in the chat the other day who are Stockport fans. Where are Stockport at the minute? Where are they sitting? 5th. Oh yeah, they maybe have just left it a bit too late, haven't they? They could have caught Wrexham. Yeah, but they'll be in the playoffs. They'll be in the playoffs, won't they? Guaranteed playoffs. Yeah, Jamie Vardy. Sorry, I've just spotted that, Jaden. Yeah, Jamie Vardy leaving Leicester City. What do we make of that, everyone? I think he's been a hell of a player for Leicester, hasn't he? Been a really good player. But I almost feel a little bit like he... Not that he's shit out, but he had to go and he had to make the move. He had to make the move. I think Jamie Vardy could have been a lot better than he actually was. By staying at Leicester, you know, you've got to respect that. He stayed at Leicester and saw it out, but he ended up a mid-table centre-forward and then dropped into the Championship and came back and went down and came back. I just think he was always better than that. Jamie Vardy was a fabulous striker, and he should have, I think, at the point... Maybe stayed an extra year, but look at what Kante did, look at what Mahrez did, look at how they are considered now in terms of the Premier League. I think Vardy would have been the same. He wouldn't have been like Drinkwater. He would have been closest to your Kantes and your Mahrez's, because the guy was unbelievable. He was very, very close to joining Arsenal, wasn't he? He was so close to joining Arsenal, and if he'd have stayed, I really think... yeah, he would have kicked on and maybe even won Arsenal a league or two, or certainly got them higher than they were during that period. Jake, can you gift on here or do anything like that? You can't yet. However, with YouTube, because the channel is so new, what you have to do is you have to get your, what they call watch hours up, right? So every person that watch, and we get loads, as you know, there's hundreds, there's thousands who watch. A lot of the time it's on TikTok. If I could get even 10% of them to watch on YouTube, I would break my watch hours like that. And then that ticks over into a different level of YouTube where people can actually participate and you can do things like memberships, subscriptions, super chats, things like that. So yeah, I really appreciate you asking, mate. If you want to help the channel, absolutely. That's amazing. You can't really do it yet. But if you want to help in any small way, just keep watching and commenting on YouTube. Keep watching and commenting on YouTube. If you're intending to watch, keep watching on YouTube. Watch, comment, interact, like, all that good stuff. Every time you're watching one of them videos on YouTube, my watch hours are going up. That's what I need. That's what's going to get me closer to it. So I appreciate you, the help and everything there, Jake. You're a top guy. Jake, have you got any really long videos I can just play on while I sleep? Well, listen, I would never advise gaming the system like that. I would never ever advise gaming the system like that. But if you want to start a playlist of all of my live watch-alongs, then that's on you, mate. I can't tell you to do that. But no, don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be a very, very boring night's sleep. Unless you find my voice particularly soulful, then by all means. Oh, mute. Sorry. Yeah, definitely mute it. Right, we're coming up to kick-off. Surely there's... Oh, I can watch it live now. There you go. It's gone from upcoming to watch live. So, we're almost there for the Lamex... At the Lamex Stadium. Not the Amex Stadium. the Lamex Stadium at Stevenage. Finn, thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you for going and subscribing on YouTube. You're a top guy. How do we think, between now and the end of the season, how do we think well, let's just not even talk about the end of the season. How do we think the playoffs work out in the Championship? Because it feels like we've not focused as much on that. Obviously, in the last few days, the big talk has been about Leeds and about Burnley, quite rightly getting up there. Sheffield United, I've had a lot of Sheffield United fans. If you click, Jaden, if you click watch now, it's still just a blank screen with Stevenage and Birmingham on, but you can actually watch it. Just give it 10 minutes, mate. It will come on, I promise you. Yeah, all of the focus has been on Leeds and on Burnley getting promoted, and all that's great. That's wonderful, because they've done really, really well. But Sheffield United fans have they've had a little bit of a pop at me today for saying that I didn't think Sheffield United should come up to the Prem, or would come up to the Prem, and that I didn't want them to come up to the Prem, because I didn't think they were maybe a good fit. I thought Chris Wilder would almost certainly take them back down. I didn't think the squad was or is Premier League ready. I think they're a long, long way away from being able to stay up. I think the style of football they play isn't particularly easy on the eye either. So I just don't think they're a good addition to the Premier League. That's my personal take with Sheffield United. Let me know if you agree, of course. Let me know if you massively disagree. But yeah, I think in terms of the playoffs, I'm kind of rooting for Bristol City, and maybe even, I think it's going to be Bristol City against, would it be Bristol City against Sunderland? I guess it depends, doesn't it? Sheffield United against Coventry, maybe. Bristol City against Sunderland in the semis. So maybe it'd be Sheffield United. I mean, that'd be a cool playoff final. Coventry against Bristol City. That'd be cool, because I'd be quite happy with either of them coming up. It's working now. Oh, good. Okay. Finn4447. Bristol go up playoffs. Hopefully something new. Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be good to have a new team in the Prem, wouldn't it? Get Ashton Gate in a new stadium, new place to go. Good away days down in Bristol. So we can see how that goes. Jake, anyone but the Mackhams. Jake, I'm very doubtful Burnley or Leeds will stay in the Prem. Think whoever comes up in the playoffs has no chance, which is worrying for English football. That's a really interesting point, right? So I want to talk about this. I was going to do a video about this today, but I think I'm actually only going to do it and publish it tomorrow. But I'm really interested in what everyone thinks about this. I think it's overplayed, the whole teams that come up aren't good enough and they're going to go back down. It's only happened that the 3 promoted teams coming up, going back down, all 3 of them, it's happened in each of the last 2 seasons in the Prem. Admittedly, not good. But before that, the last time it had happened was in 1997. So it's actually only happened 3 times in about 27 years. That would, to me, would be characterised as a rare event. 3 times in 27 years. So as much as we talk about there's a massive gap between the Championship and the Premier League, I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Maybe it's me. I've got this completely wrong. I just don't buy it. I see teams like in 2022-23, by the way, which is still only 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Fulham, Bournemouth, and who else was it who came up? Fulham, Bournemouth, and someone else came up. Right? Can't remember who it was. But of those 2, Fulham, Bournemouth, and someone else came up, and they all stayed up. All 3 that came up all stayed up. And it was Leicester, Southampton, and Burnley, I think. Leicester, Southampton, and Burnley went down. And Fulham, Bournemouth, and someone else stayed up. I can't remember who it was. But that was the 22-23 season. And if you look now, Fulham and Bournemouth are both on the edge of European qualification. So how can you say there's such a massive gap when we've seen 2 teams come up just in the last few years, all of a sudden now touching the European spots. And you could say the same. You could argue the same about Brentford. You could argue the same with Brighton. Look at Forest. Christ, look at where Forest are now. I just don't. So I think there's actually massive movability between those teams in the Championship and the Premier League. I think that there is a gap, there is a gulf, of course there is, but I don't think it's so wide that it's what's the word I'm going for? It's not beyond the reach. It's not beyond the realms of possibility for teams to come up and stay up. I don't think it's reached that level just yet, personally. But as I said, let me know what you're thinking. Jaden, do you think Trafford will be as good in the Premier League? Yeah, I would say so. I think goalies are probably one of the few positions where actually if you're good in the Championship, you're generally good in the Prem. I think that the transfer is pretty much the same because it's nothing to do with physicality or athleticism, generally speaking, is it? It's more to, the nets are the same size, the ball moves at the same speed. Generally, positioning is all about the same. So I think if you're a good goalkeeper in a Championship, generally speaking, you're a good goalkeeper in the Prem. It's your midfielders, your outfield players where they tend to struggle, I think. Jake, it's because of inflation and FFP. The teams promoted can only spend 40 million or something, whereas Prem teams get 100 million plus every year, and they have a good few years of building squads now. Yeah, look, of course, but no one said it's going to be easy. You can't expect it to be easy, nor should it be easy. I don't want teams coming up from the Championship and it being a breeze for them to just come up and settle into the Prem and, it's dead easy. It should be difficult. It's the biggest league in the world. It's the best league in the world. And you want the champion. I still maintain the Championship, League 1, League 2. England is the only football country, the only country in the world where you can go to a Division 3, Division 4, maybe even a Division 5 match and have tens of thousands of people there watching it. There's the Johnston's Paint Trophy at Wembley nearly packs out Wembley sometimes with teams in the the lower rungs of the English football ladder. You just don't get that anywhere else. So yeah, I know that money's always a big thing, but I don't buy personally that there's such a big gulf that's irretrievable. I guess I think teams can come up and do very, very well. It takes good planning, it takes good investment, smart investment, and do you know what else it takes? Not being stupid with your tactics. Russell Martin coming up with Southampton and trying to play like Brazil in the 70s, trying to pass it out from the back, trying to get his goalkeeper to stand on the edge of the penalty area and take balls to feet and try and pass in between the passing lanes blind and have players turn out with the backs to absolutely mental. It's unbelievable what Southampton did this season, and they actually improved a little tiny bit. Even though the points didn't necessarily improve, I think the performances did. As soon as a more pragmatic coach like Ivan Juric came in, who said, no, clean sheets first. If you get someone like that in from the start, they've got a chance. It's sad, it is sad, it's a sad indictment maybe of the game, but you do need a Sean Dyche to stay up. Or a Nuno Santo. You need a pragmatic, ballsy, well-organised, resilient, a manager that's going to pick on mostly on physicality, not necessarily on skills. You need 11 big lads. 11 big lads who can run for days, who can win most of the physical challenges, who can knock it long, and maybe a big centre forward. You don't need tiki-taka and flick-flacks and, all that stuff. You don't need it. You absolutely need 4-4-2, Mike Bassett, knock it long, up and at him, get it up him. That sort of a play. That's what I think anyway. Jake, the 3 teams this season who got promoted are 15 points off with 5 games left and much better equipped than Leeds and Burnley, who have had to sell all their star players. I think Leeds, if you look at Leeds' team though, and compare it to, say, Leicester's team, I think Leeds are far, far better suited to the Prem. And I know that's easy now saying it because Leicester are obviously going down. But Leeds, I think, will do much better. I actually think Leeds will stay up. I look at Burnley and I see a Scott Parker that has become a bit more pragmatic. Again, don't know if you agree, but I think Scott Parker now doesn't look like the same manager who was in charge against Bournemouth, and he was a little bit like Russell Martin, wasn't he? When they, a little bit naive and going to Anfield and playing the way they did and getting beat 9-0. It was always likely to be things like that with Scott Parker, but it seems like he's learned his lesson, and yeah, I think Burnley and Leeds might do all right next season. I think they might have a moment, let's say, to a chance to get into the Premier League and stay there. Oliver P, Arsenal fan here. Can we just take a moment to respect how Liverpool pushed and won the league? Nice, thanks, Oliver. Not that I did anything but that's nice. That's nice of an Arsenal fan to say that. Very, very magnanimous of you. Very respectful in defeat. And it can't be easy as an Arsenal fan, having witnessed 2 or 3 years now of very near misses. It's tough. Believe me, as Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, we've got that in common. We've missed out to City ourselves a number of times, so I know it's galling. I understand. It's not good. And it does get to you. And I think you've got a special, different kind of pain this year because you've lost out. You've finished ahead of City, finally. And it's not them that you need to have worried about. It's us. So it's, yeah, like all banter aside, I actually think Arsenal have got a slightly different type of pain to Liverpool that they've experienced over the years. We're just approaching kick-off now. Jake, Leeds failed and got relegated, sold their star players and replaced them with a level below. They also have the keeper, Firpo, Dan James were all still there and weren't good enough. Yeah, but Mellier's not really playing now. I think they have learned the lesson with Mellier. I think Ilan Mellier will probably leave the club. In fact, I'm almost certain he will. He's not even getting played anymore. They're playing Carl Darlow. So I think they'll go and they'll get someone. Maybe like a Kelleher. I keep talking about Quivine Kelleher, but he is the one. He is the standout keeper, isn't he? He's the standout keeper in the Premier League that's there, that's available, that everyone can watch, that everyone can go and buy. Callum the Copite, Stevenage 1, Birmingham 3. That's your prediction. I think it's... No, I'm going to go 2-0. I think it's going to be Stevenage 0, Birmingham 2. I think it might not be as high scoring as that. I hope you're right, though. Prem Dad supports Plymouth. Wool, support your local Birmingham City. Yeah, well, you can't win. Finn 4447. I got a strange feeling Stevenage might get something here. 2-1. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You never know. They've got some players, haven't they, Stevenage? They have, they've picked up some decent results this season, some surprise results. Ashby Hammond in goal. James Wilding is the captain. Butler, Freestone, Good, Sweeney, Phillips, White, Roberts, Reed, and Luis Apere up front. Jake, they wanted Nick Pope, but can't afford him. The skint they failed to come up last year, missed out on parachute payments. Yeah, but they might make a few changes, won't they? I think they might even let a few players go, actually, Leeds. There's a chance that Al Tanaka is going to leave. Hotspur Army, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. And you, Webbo, as well. Good to see you, lads. Hotspur Army 1882. Poch rumours that he's coming back with Postecoglou under pressure. No. Ange isn't going anywhere, at least until you're knocked out of the Europa. And even if he does, that would be a mistake. That would be a massive, massive mistake, I think, Pochettino, going back to Spurs. You never, ever go back. It's never a good thing to do. Zachmate 1-1. Who's going to win the Prem next season? It's too early to tell. Too early. I could give you the name, mate. I could say Liverpool are going to win it. Let's say I'm biased and I'll say Liverpool are going to win it. But I genuinely think that Liverpool will change a minimum of 8 and a maximum of kind of 12, 13 of our squad. I think there's going to be massive, massive change at Liverpool next season. And I'm a Liverpool fan, so I've I'm not just saying this blindly. I don't think we're going to win it. I'd be quite happy with us challenging and being kind of maybe around where Arsenal are, second or so, maybe still in the race and still in the Champions League. By this point next season, if that's the case, with maybe a Champions League final still to come, and we're kind of still hovering around top spot, I'd be delighted with that, actually. I think that's not a bad season at all for Liverpool. Finn 4447, Everton. The Ev are going to win it. Right, we're very nearly off here. I've got the colours wrong. Right, I need to change that. I'm not having that. Everyone knows I'm a bit OCD with the colours. Birmingham are in black and pink, so that's not happening. Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just play in blue? It doesn't even clash. Is it pink or red? Oh, it's like a luminous orange colour, isn't it? Oh, God. So I'm going to get that colour. Right, there you go. Might have to do that. No, that's ridiculous again. There you go. We're going with that. Stevenage 0, Birmingham 0. That's going to look a little bit better. Has it not started yet, Webbo? It has just started. We're a minute 30 in. Birmingham on the counter-attack here. Down the left-hand side. Chance. Cleared away by Stevenage. Let's get the volume up. Let's get a bit of a background here. Get a bit of a background noise. Finn 4447, Iliman Ndiaye, top scorer, 28 goals. Do you think Iliman Ndiaye? I know Everton fans love him, and that's all well and good because I do think he's a good player. But are you not a little bit disappointed with his output? Like for how good he's been, he's like on 7 goals on assists all season. I just feel like that's really, really mild, isn't it? It's like a poor season from him, isn't it? Pretty poor season, I think. Jake, they had to sell Archie Gray, or what about Leeds? Archie Gray would have been in trouble. Think they can spend 50 million or so, but it will be in arrears, and then it won't be enough to compete, in my opinion. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. I know Tanaka's one of the ones that they're looking at selling Leeds. Why do you keep bullying Tottenham for? I'm sorry, mate. I apologise. I'm still supporting you. I want Spurs to win the Europa League. I really do. Corinne, good to see you. Yes, we are. We're watching League One. We're watching a bit of Stevenage against Birmingham. And the big news here is that Birmingham could break the English League football history points record. They need 8 points from a possible 12 from their last 4 games. 8 points makes Birmingham record breakers. And given how much is expected of Birmingham with the new stadium and the investment and all that sort of thing, you know, that would be massive, wouldn't it? To be arguably the most prolific team in football history, certainly in terms of points, the highest points total ever of any English football team. That's huge. That would be massive. Finn, he plays really well, but I think biggest disappointment is Lindstrom. Got 1 assist, that's it. Isn't he just like... Lindstrom's obviously out on loan, isn't he? Birmingham down the left-hand side here. It's well won that by Stevenage, actually. It's a bit scrappy. That's a free kick, ref. That's a free kick, surely. No, he's not having it. It's very, very scrappy. Stevenage, if they can get this right. Yeah, Lindstrom, hasn't he only had 1 assist in like 3 years. Wasn't his last assist for Frankfurt before the one he got for Everton? I remember watching him and thinking, oh yeah, no, he's having a rough time of it, but he looks like a decent player, doesn't he? Webbo, what time is the La Liga game? There is no La Liga game tonight. The La Liga game that I was going to watch was on, was it 6 o'clock tonight? We were going to do Osasuna against Sevilla. And it's finished, or about to finish, 1-0 Osasuna. And it would have actually been an alright game to watch, because Garcia scored, and then Dodi Luca Bacchio got sent off for Sevilla. That was in the first half hour. Since then, nothing's happened. There's been like 5 yellow cards. But otherwise, no, there's nothing else. There is another couple of La Liga games in about 40 minutes. There's Atletico Madrid against Rayo Vallecano and Betis against Valladolid. We will keep an eye out for them too, by the way, because I do want to see how Betis get on. I would have quite liked to watch Betis against Valladolid, but I think this one was probably... I mean, it's English football, innit? English league football. We've got to watch it. Finn, I don't know, but he's a good player, needs to contribute more. That's what I mean, yeah. He's a tidy player, isn't he? That's how you'd describe him. He's a tidy player. He can cause the opposition problems. I just feel like he doesn't do it enough. There's too many games where Iliman Ndiaye is anonymous. And if I was an Everton fan, I would expect more of him. He would be one of the ones that you'd be putting on next season and saying, you need to be kind of driving the team forward. But yeah, in answer to the questions earlier about who do we think is going to win the Premier League, I think you could flip a coin for most of the Premier League positions next season, because there's just this feels like, and I'm not just trying to build it up and big it up. I actually think this is one of the biggest summers, like transfer-wise. It's one of the biggest summers in a very, very long time that I can remember, because it feels like City are going to do loads. They're going to have to do loads. Arne Slot wants to make massive changes at Liverpool. Birmingham, chance, must be. Oh, he's just crowded out. Unlucky there. I think it was Alfie May in the end, just trying to get his shot off. Just wide, unlucky. Yeah, I think it's just so big this summer for so many teams. Obviously, Man United, there's talk about them, what they're going to do. Liverpool, what they're going to do. City, I think Arsenal, the rumours about them going getting a striker. Who do they get? Is that the right player? It just... Even Everton, we talk about Everton. David Moyes is going to have to go out and reshape that Everton squad, because there's God knows how many leaving due to the end of loans, whether that be Alcaraz, Breuer, Lindstrom, those players, or your end of contracts. Your Ashley Young, Seamus Coleman, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There's lots and lots of rumours around Everton as well. Beto, is he going to stay? So yeah, there's just no... Newcastle, Alexander Isak, does he stay? If he does stay, then do they add maybe Mbeumo to the right side? If Brentford get raided for Mbeumo and Wissa, does Thomas Frank stay? It feels like there's just a domino effect going to go on all around the league this season. I can see it already playing out. I am really excited. Kane, Kuna and United now advancing to final stages according to Fabrizio. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just think it would be madness for Cunha to commit to anything before he knows what Manchester United are going to have to play for next season. Because the United aren't the only team in for Cunha. There's no way United are the only team in for him. Jaden, this game is pretty boring. Still time, yeah. You got to give it a bit longer. We're only 10 minutes in. Not even that. 9 minutes in. 9 minutes. Right, Birmingham have picked it up deep here. That's good play by Wilding. Uh, 42. Where are we ranking Vardy as a striker over, say, including last 10 to 15 or so year strikers? Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do that as an exercise then. Who would we name as the top strikers over the last? Let's do the last 20. Let's not do the last 20. Let's do the last 10. The last 10, right? So I think you've got Aguero. If we're just talking Prem. Just talking Prem over the last 10 years. Stevenage with the ball into the box. Just not behind there. Stevenage corner. First time they've got forward there, really. But it was Lee at the back post, the Korean. Lee pouring it out, chesting it out. Yeah, so you've got Aguero. Who else would we say has been a star Premier League striker over the last 10 years? I think you'd include Firmino in that. Stevenage with the corner, cleared away. Chance, no, foul on the keeper. Foul on the keeper. Ashby Hammond's gone down. Looks like a head injury. Yeah, no, not last 10 years. If we're just focusing on last 10 years in the Prem, Harry Kane. I think he's behind all three of them. Who else are we talking? Christ. Get your act together. Lukaku? Would we still say Lukaku? Not Suarez. Not Suarez. And I think he would be better than Giroud. Aubameyang. Yeah, I don't think he's better than Aubameyang. I don't know though. Let's have a look at his numbers. You've got me questioning myself now. Aubameyang's probably an interesting comparable. Jaden, what's your predictions? Predictions, I would say... I think Birmingham are going to do it. Wilbur Gomez. Vamos, Birmingham. Desde Venezuela. Nice. Good to see you, Wilbur. There's a little bit of a break in play here now. There's nothing going on. They're just tending to Ashby Hammond, who's down. So all the Birmingham players have gone over and had a little drinks break. Yeah, so I think Jaden, I think Birmingham will nick this, to be honest. I think they will take it in the end. That's got to be... Surely the Range are getting paid prime advertising for that. Look at that. As you look at the pitch, right in the background, there's a gap in the corner of the stand at the Lamex Stadium in Stevenage. There's a big gap in the corner of the stand. And right there is the Range. At the Range have obviously put a big sign there saying the Range. So every time Stevenage are on telly, they get prime sponsorship. Now, Callum. Naughty. Right, okay. So Aguero, Firmino, Kane. We was looking, wasn't we? 1 JDT, you're saying 3-1. Okay. 3-1. Yeah, there's quite a few others said 3-1 in the chat for this one. I don't know if we're going to get that many goals. I've got to be honest with you. It looks like a pretty poor game so far. It's a very bitty game. Laka, Mitrovic, Bar. I think he's better than all them. Good play by Phillips there in the midfield for Stevenage. It's offside. Right, so let's look at Vardy's numbers. Vardy has got... How old is he now? 38. 38. He's been doing it for ages, hasn't he? That's the other thing you've got to factor in with Vardy. It's not just that he's good. He's been good for such a long time. Adam Smart. Is that Adam Smales or Adam Smalls? Surely that's Smales. Leeds to stay up next season. Yeah, I think Leeds will. I am calling it early. I think Leeds will, but I think you'll have to sack Danny Farker to do it. I think you'll have to sack Danny Farker in order to stay up. Sorry, Vardy's overall numbers. I was looking. I apologise. Right, so we want all time. Can someone explain how United pulled off a Cunha signing? It's not. They've not pulled it off yet. Why is everyone freaking out? They haven't pulled it off. Cunha is not going to Manchester United. At least not. It's not been confirmed anything just yet. Right, so just at Leicester, just in the Premier League. Show. Jermaine Defoe, yeah, that... No, I think we're a bit too late for Jermaine Defoe there, aren't we? Jermaine Defoe, surely that's well too late. Birmingham got the ball in the midfield. It's just lots of... Stevenage have set up quite clear here with what they want, what they expect. They're sitting deep. They're sitting deep, and they are just trying to ride the game out. They're not interested in taking the ball forward. We haven't seen an awful lot from him as an attacking outfit. Birmingham are pushing forward, but they're being met with very strong resistance by Stevenage as soon as they get beyond the halfway line, to be honest. It's good pressing, particularly by Phillips. I think he's done really well. Yeah, no, not Crouchy or Sturridge. FC20 beating PSV, by the way. Man United, biggest team in the world, lol. Right, yeah, so I wouldn't say Crouchy, I wouldn't say Sturridge, no. Neither of them have been in the Prem in the last 10 years. Neither of them. Surely not. Come on, it's still loading up. That's how many years he's been at it. He's still trying to load up how many. Right, okay. So he's got 143 goals in 348 Premier League games for Leicester. If we add in assists as well, he's got 191. 191 in 338 games. That's just in the Premier League for Leicester. That's good. That's some good numbers. That's some good numbers. He's averaging a goal every 183 minutes across the last 11 years. 11 seasons, he's averaged a goal every 183 minutes. Realistically, it's between Aguero, Lukaku, Kane, Costa, Vardy, Giroud, Suarez. It won't be Suarez. Suarez left the Prem. Suarez left the Premier League. So you can't have that. He was gone by 2014. See, again, United have not pulled off the Cunha signing. They've not pulled it off. It hasn't happened. We've seen this happen so many times. Manchester United have signed this player. Manchester United are in talks to sign this player. Cunha will have at least 4 other big clubs talking to him. And I don't think for 1 second that Manchester United are going to win the Europa League and give him Champions League football. So as soon as United haven't got Champions League football next season, there's 2 things that'll happen, right? First thing is Cunha will go, well, are there any other clubs who have got Champions League who are interested in me? He'll be saying that to his agents, or his agents will be saying that to him. And I think he'll be looking at them seriously now. He won't be interested in Manchester United, certainly not as much. And if he is still interested in Manchester United at that point, the other thing that'll happen is he'll say, so, do you know how we had like a provisional talk about before you won the Europa League, before all that happened, we said you was going to give us this was the wages, and you know that. Now, you've not got Champions League football. I need to protect my career. So, ball into the box by Birmingham. It's gone all the way through. Poor. It's actually offside. Yeah, I need to protect my interests. I need to protect my career. I'm a Champions League level player. So if you're expecting me to be out of the Champions League, then I need a little sum. So I think his wage will shoot up. That's typically what happens when you're dealing with a club that you deem to be below your expectations. So yeah, I just don't think you can say any of that just yet. Kane, he's had discussions about the project and wants the move. Says who? Some guy who leaks stuff all the time and gets stuff wrong. It's literally Fabrizio Romano's job to drum up interest. Imagine if all football clubs just said, we're not even going to do anything until the end of the season. Which is the way that some football clubs operate, by the way, because they don't know what the football club's going to look like until the end of the season. We're not even going to do anything on the transfer front until the end of the season. Lots of players take that approach as well. So if that indeed is the case, how on earth are there transfers, and loads, by the way, not just the odd one or two, how on earth are there loads being done now in April? Like done and dusted, boxed. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, certainly not in the vast majority of cases anyway. The vast majority of cases, nothing happens until the season is done. Whoa, first real chance of the game there, and it was Stevenage. It was Stevenage from the edge of the box. Bit of a ricochet that put it into the path of... who's the left winger? It was Butler. Butler whipped it in, and it was Roberts, I think, on the edge of the area. Yeah, it was Jordan Roberts on the edge of the area. Kind of sliced it with his left foot, just wide of that far post. Osimhen will be a United player after we win the Europa. Patience, the United call is still the biggest. You can't ignore it like that. Of course you can. Of course you can. Manchester United, as a club, is massive. You will never ever find me saying otherwise. However, it's also two other things. One, whoa, a little bit of an argument, a little bit of a flare up there. Two players butting heads near there might have been I think they're just going to have a quick word with him, the ref. Whew, I don't know what happened there. It was Gardner Hickman, the Birmingham player, and number 16 for Stevenage. I'm not entirely sure who it is, but let's just see what happened. Oh, it was just a little bit of a scuffle as the ball's going out. The defender's shepherding it out for play. Goes out for a goal kick, and they just kind of... the Birmingham... Gardner Hickman ends up having hold of a handful of the player's shorts. He's trying to pull his shorts off him, the lad. Yeah, look, I just think United, as big as they are, they're a massive club, but do we really seriously think that clubs are, that players are flocking to Manchester, this iteration, this version of Manchester United? Do we seriously believe that? They're a car crash of a club, on and off the pitch. They're absolutely toilet. And not just that. It's been a graveyard of very, very good players over the last few years. I can name you countless players who've gone to Manchester United, good quality players, and they've just faded away. They've not been the same sort of player. Then they leave again, and they're fine. They're fantastic. Look at Anthony. Look at McTominay, Chris Smalling. There's loads of them. That's just three off the top of my head. There's loads that happen like that. It's just frustrating to think that United fans are so naive to think that they're just going to start wrapping up top players left, right and centre. I guarantee if Cunha has already agreed to a move to Manchester United now, it's because him and his agent have already been assured that nobody else actually wants him. Or certainly nobody else of interest. Cunha's list of suitors right now, the only way he's signed for Manchester United, I think, is if his list of suitors reads loads of Saudi clubs, couple of Europa League clubs, maybe Brighton, maybe Lille, teams like that, and Manchester United. And if he's got that list to choose from, I think he picks Man United. I think if Arsenal were in the question, in the equation, he wouldn't be going United. I think if Newcastle were in the equation, he won't be going Man United. 42, no one wants Cunha. No, I'm not saying no one wants Cunha. I am saying if you're telling me, if your assertion is that Cunha has already decided to go to Manchester United now, before the end of the season, before we know if they have Champions League football next season, if he has decided that, which I don't think he has, but you're saying he has 42, let's say that he has, the only way that that is true is if nobody is interested in him. Nobody significant. That's what I believe. Reese, Bury are a better club than Man United. Nah. Bury do better black pudding, though. James Moss, come on Stevenage, do it all for League One from a town fan. Eduardo, Kade or Yogo? I don't know what that means, Eduardo. I don't know what that means. Hablo Inglés, Eduardo. Birmingham with the ball in, not behind, it's a corner. It's a corner. 42, because we're United, no club competes with us when it comes to pull and transfers. That's just annoying. That's just not true. You know that's not true. Kieran, what are your thoughts on Cunha? Wonderful player. Wonderful player. And he'll be a wonderful player if Manchester United sign him too. I won't deny otherwise. Very, very talented player. Don't think he's a game changer for United, but he's certainly a lot better than what you've got. Oh, Birmingham. Oh, the whistle had blown anyway. It was Grant Hanley at the back post there. Birmingham nearly putting them going 1-0 up. It was a... What was the foul for? Must have been a foul off the ball. The referee blew up with the ball in mid-air, and the ball came to the far post. Grant Hanley got his head on it. Got it miles over. Caleb, DCSE, what we thinking about Vardy leaving? Yeah, we were just talking about that, Caleb. We were talking about how good Vardy has been for Leicester over the years and how important he's been. And we worked out that he's got somewhere in the region of 190 goals and assists in 340 games for Leicester across the last 11 years. He's averaging a goal about every 180 minutes for Leicester, every 2 games, bang on, across 11 years. And you've got to point out that that's for Leicester City. You know, a team who, for the most part, have been poor, mid-table to lower mid-table. Apart from that one glorious season, maybe 1.5, where they were kind of loitering around the top 4. But yeah, he's a wonderful player, really talented player. Sad to see his career come to an end, but we were talking about how we rank him amongst the likes of Aguero and Kane and Firmino and various other top centre-forwards over the last 10 years. And I think he's probably top 5. That's my conclusion anyway. That would be my top 5. Daniel, top 5 defensive midfielders in world football currently. I think you'd have to say, right, Birmingham have got another player down here. Wilber Gomez, ¿Quién está jugando mejor? Who is playing better? So far, I think Stevenage. Birmingham are having a lot more of the ball. They're having a lot more possession. But Stevenage are probably doing a little bit more with it. I don't think there's been a shot on target in the game yet. We are 30 minutes in, we haven't had a shot on target. So it's not been a great start to the game. But I remain hopeful. Jake, Man United have had so many cracks at the whip and failed miserably. I've seen similar things with Newcastle. Imagine if they get it wrong again. This is the other thing as well. This is why I expect Man United to be a lot more cautious this summer. A lot more cautious. Especially if they don't win the Champions League and they haven't got that European cash coming in. They're still paying out for players that they've already decided are not good enough. In what world do Manchester United fans think they can throw money at bad, good money after bad? It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Kane Fabrizio has also said United appreciate Ederson from Atalanta and is seen as an ideal player. Yeah, good player. I think a lot of people do appreciate Ederson. I think the only difference with Ederson this year compared to last year is, I think if Atalanta had decided to sell Ederson last year, they'd have got about 60 million quid for him. He's not had the best season individually. I think Atalanta are doing well. They're probably on course to finish in the top 4 again, but individually he's not been as good this season as he was last. So I think there might be a slight dip. Reese, Vardy has more trophies than Spurs. He does. I think Spurs are going to pick up one this year though, Reese. I'll tell you that. I think Spurs will have more than Arsenal come the end of the season. Right, so the Birmingham players back up and we're off again. Long ball up the pitch by the keeper. Kieran, you watch the Spanish League. Do you know anything about Johnny Cardoso? Yes, and I've already done a video in which Johnny Cardoso was included. In January, I talked about Johnny Cardoso being a good fit for Brentford, because at the time, Brentford were, I think they hadn't secured a new deal with Norgard. Christian Norgard, who is out of contract at the end of the season, and I would argue Norgard has been one of the best defensive midfielders in the Prem over the last few years. Very, very solid player. Very consistent as well. And yeah, Johnny Cardoso at Betis was one of the ones I said they need to be looking at him. I think Lewis Ferguson was one of the others. Birmingham must score. Oh, must be. How's he missed it? Oh, he was skied over by Gardner Hickman. Really poor that from Birmingham. The right back got it. They had about 3 players in the box there, all with multiple chances to score. It's a good save by the keeper. Ends up coming out to the right back, Gardner Hickman, and it's 2 points for Wigan. He absolutely skies it over the bar. He should do better there. He side foots it. In that position, you've got 3 players. There was 3 Stevenage players on the line. The goalkeeper was down on the floor, and the ball's bouncing. All Gardner Hickman has to do is get it on target. If he gets that on target, it's a goal. Really poor. Caleb, he's done absolutely amazing stuff. Is Vardy retiring or just moving on? I think he's going to the MLS, mate. I think him and the grass Rebecca Vardy are going to the MLS for a new life in America. FM No Casuals, can you please end the live, lad? I need goals. I'm sorry, mate. It's looking like that, isn't it? It's looking like another Premier League dad special. Finn447, which striker do you think Everton should target in the summer? That's a good question. I don't know. Again, it depends on budget. On budget and where other teams finish. There's lots of very talented players. I'm just not sure whether or not Everton would have the pull to get them to the Premier League. They're probably going to end up looking in the Championship, aren't they? They're going to look at those sorts of players. And maybe at players who miss out on the Premier League, coming up from the Championship. Because you look at, who's the top scorers in the Prem? Obviously, you've got Borja Sainz at Norwich. I don't think he's one anymore, but Sargent could be. Josh Sargent could be an interesting one for Everton from Norwich. Tommy Conway at Borough. Could be an interesting one as well. Yeah, he's not so good at penalties. He missed a penalty against Wednesday the other day, but he's not a bad player. There's rumours linking Finn Azaz. I know he's more of a number 10. Wilson Isidore. Again, yeah, maybe. Wilson Isidore could be an interesting one for Everton. I think it's going to be that sort of a summer for Everton. I think they're looking for talent, and it's far more likely they're going to go and get a Jermaine Beckford type of player. Maybe they're better than Beckford, but you know what I mean? Someone who's successful in the Championship. It's a goal kick to Birmingham. Reese, Prem Dad, a secret Spurs fan. Kane, Betis want to swap Anthony for him, but have no idea about him. Yeah, he is. Johnny Cardoso is a very, very talented midfielder. He's There's a little bit of the Michael Carrick about him. He kind of keeps it moving. He can win a tackle, but he's smart. He's an intelligent footballer, Johnny Cardoso. Tito Steph, Stevenage or Birmingham, who do you support the most? I don't know. I haven't really got a preference, to be honest. I guess I quite like Jay Stansfield. And his story, and with his dad and everything, and the way he's come up through the game. So I like that. I like that about Birmingham. Don't particularly like Birmingham as a city. Whenever I've gone Birmingham as a city, I've not particularly enjoyed it as the experience. Beautiful parts of Birmingham, really, really beautiful. Second city, but I've only ever gone down there for sales meetings and stuff, and I've always had a pretty poor experience, mainly due to the sales meetings, to be honest. So I haven't really got a preference. Hertfordshire's nice, isn't it? Hertfordshire's a nice place in a nice part of the world. I don't know where about when I went down to how close is Harry Potter World to Stevenage? I remember taking my missus to Harry Potter World. That was around about Hertfordshire way. Corinne, I'm back. Just checked in on my mum. Love to Mrs. Wilson. Or Mrs. Corinne, whatever the surname may well be. Anthony, Jamie Vardy's leaving Leicester. Yeah, we've done that one. We've taught that one to death. Anthony. FM No Casuals, just let me know what matches you're doing in advance and I'll do under 0.5. Yeah, that would be smart going forward. Do you know what? I'm going to put my schedule up on YouTube as well. So, by the way, if you want to do me a massive favour, just while we're mid-game, it's a free kick to Stevenage. It's about 50 yards out. It's a good opportunity for him to put a ball into the box. If you do want to go and help the channel in any way, shape or form, obviously gifts are lovely and I really appreciate them. Follows and subscribes are all good too. If you're intent on doing this watch along with me and watching this game, get over to YouTube and watch it on YouTube for me. Makes a massive difference. Chance, whoa, very nearly. Good save by Ashby in the Birmingham goal. Round the Susan, Everton have been linked with some German striker. I'm not sure. Walter made, is it? Caleb, Tommy Conway's a decent player. Adebayo for Everton. Sister Fister, you didn't tell me the sponsor. I'm sorry, I'll message it after the game, mate. Finn, my favourite striker to watch is Delap. Very low chance that Everton get him. Yeah, I can't see Delap going. I was listening to the cycling podcast earlier today with Ben Foster where he was talking about Liam Delap and his agent having played an absolute blinder with Ipswich. Because now he's got 10 to 12 clubs interested in him because they know at 30 million quid he represents basically no risk at all. If you spend 30 million quid on Liam Delap and he's absolutely awful, like really, really awful, in 12 months' time you could sell him again and as a bare minimum get your money back. So he presents very little risk to no risk. He's still young. He's proven it in the Prem. He's proven it in the Championship. You could get 30 to 40 million back for Delap in 12 months if it all goes pear-shaped. Stevenage are now just getting a little bit of a foot on the ball here. Birmingham having to ride a bit of pressure late in the half. And that's poor from Stevenage. It's gone out for a goal kick. Corinne, who's going to get Champions League? I'm still sticking with City, Chelsea and Newcastle. Probably the three that I least want to get it, to be honest. But I think the three that are. I think City, Newcastle and Chelsea are going to get it. I'd quite like Villa to get it, but I don't think they will. I think that City game the other night was a real blow for Villa. Kane, I'm a fan of that Haidara from Leipzig. Isn't he a right back? I might be thinking of the Haidara who used to play for Newcastle. He was a right back. Wilbur Gomez, Stevenage or Birmingham? I still think it's going to be very, very tight, Wilbur. I can't call it. It's 0-0 half time. Holly thinks Birmingham. Holly Donnelly. Nathan and friends, greetings from Scotland. Good to see you, Nathan. Good to see you. Stick around, mate. Give us a subscribe. We're live every single day watching football matches. If there's football on, chances are Premier League Dad is live. That's really, really good play there from Birmingham. Stevenage clear it away, booting it up the park. Caleb DCSE, Liam Delap is a very good player. Makes it even sweeter he came through Derby's academy. Yeah, of course. Forgot about that. Yeah, that was a kind of a prominent part of the overlap, wasn't it, last week? Ipswich Town and the City fan having a debate about Liam Delap. And the Ipswich Town fan was saying how they felt that maybe they hadn't quite been fairly treated coming up to the Premier League. That was poor there from the linesman. They hadn't been fairly treated coming up to the Premier League, and now other clubs, hint, hint, City, got special treatment. And the City fan hit back and said that, yeah, well, it's all well and good some clubs complaining about how City operate, but you come and get, Liam Delap out of our academy. And I'm just a bit gutted that no one pulled him up at the time and said, hang on a minute. Liam Delap didn't come from the City academy. He came from the Derby academy. You went and pinched him from the Derby academy. It's like this. It's like Liverpool claiming that Raheem Sterling came from ours. He didn't. We went and signed him from QPR when he was about 16. Reese, Harry Potter World is just outside Watford, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, but that's Hertfordshire, isn't it? Watford's Hertfordshire. Fionn got as far as missing out on Q, U and X for Man United A to Z. Good to see you again, mate, by the way. Oh, Stevenage might have a chance here. The keeper's fluffed it. Reed. Oh, good defending by Birmingham. Ashby Hammond there, the goalkeeper for Birmingham, had an absolute shocker. Callum, the Prem Dad curse plays on, is right. Hope you had a good day today anyway, mate. I did. I spent ages on Streamlabs, by the way, as we talked about, trying to get all the apps and the widgets working. I watched tutorial after tutorial. I found some widgets and things that worked, and when I've got live on the stream, they don't work. So I'm gutted. But otherwise, I've had a really good day. Thank you. Nathan and friends, my English teams are Villa and Stevenage. How did you land on them, Nathan? Villa and Stevenage are not rare, but I guess odd picks. So how did you land on them? Carl Fitz 91, Blues win 2-1. That's all they've won by this year, bar Barnsley 6-2. That was really poor there from the goalkeeper. Stevenage could have done a bit better there. I'm surprised. If you're watching this game, the goalkeeper gives that ball away there, and he stood probably about 10 yards out of his penalty area. I think if the Stevenage striker has a shot there, it goes in. It's a corner kick to Stevenage. Stevenage are just applying a little bit more pressure now. A little bit more pressure as we go into this final few minutes of the half. Nathan, just love them. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Corin, didn't Delap come up through the City Academy? No, he didn't. He came up through the Derby Academy, and he went to the City Academy thereafter. Scousel, what channel's it on? It's on Sky Sports red button, mate. So go to Sky Sports 1, click the red button, go to football, League 1, Stevenage, Birmingham. Ball into the box. Good header. Chance. Oh, that was really unlucky. Stevenage had a very big chance that it was a header down. And there was who was it in front of it? It was Reed. It was Reed just in front of the goalkeeper. Oh, he stood right in front of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's behind him. The ball's coming, bouncing in front, and all he has to do is get a header, a flick on. It would have been a goal for Stevenage, 1-0. That's 2 big chances now. Just in the last sort of 10 minutes or so. It feels like the game now doesn't need half-time. Birmingham had a big chance. Stevenage have had a big chance. Scousel, can't you get it on the fire stick? Nah, I don't know, mate. I would imagine so. I don't know. I would imagine you can get most things on them, but no. This is on Sky Sports Red Button. LCFC, Joey. This is the worst season ever for me. What, Leicester going down? And Forest potentially getting the Champions League and Vardy leaving. Is that what we're talking about, or is there another reason why it might be the worst ever? Caleb, yeah, so true. They pinched him off our academy when we went into administration and needed the money. There you go. Derby County, they know it. Kane, you would love it if Cunha doesn't come now. No, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Kane? Right, I'm just not invested in it so much. That's the problem. Like, there's United fans legitimately now saying that Cunha's coming. Cunha's done. How have we pulled off this deal? What an amazing deal. Isn't it great? All I'm saying is he might not come. If he doesn't come, then yeah, I'll be made up. I'll be like, oh, I did tell you. You know, don't get wound up on it just yet. Don't dive in two-footed too early. We're not even in May. We're not even in May. There's another month of football left. At least another month of football left. Then there's the Club World Cup as well. There's a lot of players, the top players, who aren't deciding to leave said clubs until the end of the Club World Cup as well. So, you know, most contracts, in fact all contracts, only end on July the 1st. So, most players are going to stick around until then. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen with Cunha, but I think if he does go to United, then, yeah, good luck to him. United have got a great signing. He'll be a bargain. He'll do well at United. But then maybe not. We've seen other players go to United and it just... They've been space jammed, haven't they? That's what we would call it. Space jammed. Nathan and friends, I love them both. Nice. Who's your favourite Villa player? LCFC, yep, and KDH leaving, our manager leaving, and Fatu getting injured for the season. Who's KDH? KDH leaving? KDH? Really good play there down the right-hand side for Birmingham. We've got 4 minutes of added on time here. We're very nearly at the end of that. 90 seconds to go. Oh, Dewsbury Hall. Sorry, yeah, Dewsbury Hall. And Mavadidi, yeah. Mavadidi being out's a bad one. If United somehow end up with Cunha, Delap, Ederson, Cardoso and a centre-back, that's a great summer. You're not going to sign Ederson and Cardoso. Two number 6s. You're not going to sign both of them. Not with Agate already in there and Casemiro, whether you can get rid of him. No way you sign it. And you're gonna probably end up playing Mainu there as well. You get one of them, max. And it probably won't be Ederson. Again, he isn't leaving Atalanta for Manchester United. The players don't downgrade on clubs like that. I'm not saying Atalanta's bigger than Manchester United. What I'm saying is he's at a club that's been playing regularly in the Champions League. Manchester United aren't that. Reese, apparently Villa offered Watkins to us according to Carragher. Yeah, well, again, that was another one we've been talking about, isn't it? That's another one we've been talking about. Whether or not Ollie Watkins is kind of in a bit of a mood with Unai Emery. It does seem like he's changing him out of the team a little bit, and Rashford's going in at centre forward, and the fact that Villa offered Watkins to Arsenal suggests that Unai Emery's not actually a massive fan. But the way he played the other day against Newcastle, you would think, wow, he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? Half time here. First half over. It's not been vintage, has it? Let's be honest, it's not been vintage. Couple of big chances in the game. Probably the biggest going to Gardner Hickman of Birmingham. Skied it over. Probably should have done better. But that's generally what happens when big chances fall to your right back 12 yards out. So it's a stalemate at half time. Stevenage 0, Birmingham 0. And we'll stick with that. Luke Edwards reported today Newcastle very keen on Liam Delap and wanting to rotate with Isak, not replace him next season. If you're Liam Delap, you're not going to any club where you're rotation. If you're Liam Delap, you want to go to be somewhere where you're number one and you'll go and play regularly and build your profile. He isn't going to Newcastle to be number 2, mate. Absolutely not happening. It's the same reason he wouldn't, I don't think, come to Liverpool, because he's not good enough to be our starting centre forward. Same with Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal end up signing Delap. Although actually, you know what? No, there might be a world where Arsenal do panic and sign Delap, because I think Arsenal aren't quite agreed on. They've brought this new director of football in Arsenal, haven't they? And they're not quite agreed on who this new number 9, this new centre forward is going to be. And that's just going to take a little bit of working out. We know that the Arsenal regime previously with Edu fancied Sesko. We know that they were offered Watkins in January and they were tempted because apparently they put an offer in, but it wasn't just quite good enough for Villa. And the difference between Sesko and Watkins is huge. We've heard names like Gyökeres, we've heard names like Isak. It feels like there's not a very clear profile on who Arsenal want. And if there isn't a complete agreement between Arteta, the director of football, and whoever else is on that panel, then it might well end up being that they panic. They're not going to stick with what they've got. Christ, there'd be a mutiny, wouldn't there, at Arsenal? Brian, I'm a Villa fan. Nice, good to have Villa fans in. Bet you're still disappointed about that result the other night, Brian. That was a really disappointing end to the game against City. We were doing that one live. Nathan and friends, John McGinn. I love John McGinn. I think John McGinn's my favourite Villa player, actually. Yeah, but Andy Robertson's my favourite Liverpool player. I'm daft. People, over all the Liverpool players we've had over the years, I love Andy Robertson. So, John McGinn being my favourite Villa player is probably not all that surprising. Brian, are you streaming the FA Cup on Saturday? Yes. Yeah, we're doing Palace and Villa at 5:15, so we'll be doing that as soon as the 3 o'clock game ends. We're going to do 12:30 Chelsea-Everton, 3 o'clock Newcastle against Ipswich, 5:15 Palace against Villa, and then 9:30 the Clasico, the Copa del Rey final, Barcelona against Real Madrid. Yeah, that's going to be massive. So it's a full day of streaming on Saturday. If you're around on Saturday, make sure, get subscribing. Subscribe to Premier League Dad. We watch all football. If there's a game on, chances are I'm live. And we're doing 4 games back-to-back on Saturday. Basically 12 hours of streaming. I'm going to be knackered, so stick with me. Caleb, only thing agree about with the Leicester fan is it's sad Forest getting Champions League. Forest, I don't think they're going to get it. I've got to be honest. I think they're going to drop out. I think Newcastle are going to get it. City are going to get it. And I hope I'm wrong, but I still expect Chelsea to. Yeah. Nathan and friends, guess who my Scottish team is? I can see blue on your profile picture, so I'm going to guess St Johnstone. No, are you a Rangers fan? Are you a Gers fan? You're definitely not a Hoops fan with blue on your profile picture. Jake, I think Cunha, he will wait until the European places are decided before he decides where he goes. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. Let me just catch up on the other one. I think Ederson will be a hard one to convince, to be honest. Yeah, this is it. With Champions League football, it's going to be difficult. If Atalanta do fall out of those places, then maybe if United get the Champions League, we've said it all along, haven't we, mate? If United win that Europa League, it changes everything, absolutely everything for Manchester United. So it's pointless even talking about targets and all that just yet. There's so much still to be decided this season. And so that doesn't just apply to United, does it? It applies to Newcastle, it applies to Villa, it applies to Forest, it applies to Chelsea, certainly, because they've got loads of debt they still need to service as well. Corin, I think Unai Emery is to blame for Villa's loss to City. Why do you think that? Their starting 11 was so confusing. Corin, apparently the Prem are going to make managers shake hands at half-time next season. Really? Can't say I've heard that. What's the thinking behind that one? That's news to me. Let me know if anyone else has heard that. I've not heard that one. Scouse House, we're the same, mate. My head is spinning with all the options being mentioned. Yeah. Finn447, I like that George Mikatadze, Elias. Do you know what? If you get him, I'll be gutted, Finn. I'll be gutted. Because I'm a Liverpool fan, as you know, and I really, really wouldn't want him to go to Everton. He's a brilliant striker. He would do so well in the Prem as well. You know, we talk about Jermaine Defoe earlier. I think there's a little bit of the Jermaine Defoes in Mikatadze. He's kind of small, diminutive. He's so tenacious, so fiery, and he's such a good finisher. He's such a good finisher. And he's done really well for Lyon. And Lyon are going to need the cash as well, so you might even get yourself a bargain. And obviously John Textor as well. John Textor very nearly bought Everton, didn't he? So I wonder if maybe there's still connections there. Maybe you could go and get the likes of Mikatadze. Maybe not Cherky. I think Cherky's destined for slightly, no offence, I think slightly bigger teams. When he leaves, I think Cherky could go to a United or a Liverpool or someone in the top 6. Finn4447 linked to him in January, and with the Lyon situation, you never know. Yeah, absolutely. Corin, haven't heard it from any official source, but many YouTubers have been saying that's what's happening. I've heard that they're going to do interviews at half-time with the players when the players are coming back on the pitch, which is, they're already doing that in La Liga, and it's mental. It's absolutely mental. It's pointless as well, because if you're a player who's just come out of the changing room at half-time, you're just going to give stock answers, aren't you? You're just going to give total stock answers. You're not going to give anything of it that's of any value or insight. You're just going to go and say to the interviewer, yeah, the manager just said, keep at it, keep what we're doing, have faith in ourselves, keep probing, keep fighting, and, hopefully we get the good result in the end, because we know these are a really good side. No one's going to give a soundbite. They're hoping that some player comes out and goes, if that number 7 keeps kicking me, I'm gonna bite his ankles off. It's not gonna be anything like that. You don't get Craig Bellamy's in the game anymore. Scouse House, I'd ship out Jones and take Cherky. I think Cherky's probably more of an Elliott replacement than a Jones. Jones seems to have regressed, not regressed, but he's now playing a little bit deeper, isn't he? He's now playing a little bit more like a centre mid. Caleb, I can't stand John McGinn purely because of him scoring against us in the playoff final. Jake, what if it comes down to the choice of Man U or Newcastle for Delap? Arsenal, Gyökeres, Liverpool, Ekitike, Osimhen, Chelsea, where else could he go? I think if it came down to Manchester United or Newcastle for Liam Delap, I think he would go to Manchester United. Yeah, I think he would go to United. Because I think at Manchester United he starts every game. And I think he scores, and I think he would be a very good asset. This is what's annoying me about Man United, to be honest. I think Cunha is kind of on the... Not annoying me, but... I think if Manchester United made Liam Delap their number 1 target, right, and said, we're going for Liam Delap, he is our absolute... We believe he can be Harry Kane in years to come. We think he's absolutely the player for us. They'd get him. It wouldn't even be a competition, because every other club that's interested in Liam Delap, they're a little bit wishy-washy about, we'll get you in, and maybe you'll play 20, 25 games a season to start with, and we'll work you into the team, and Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City have talked about getting him back in as a backup to Haaland. All this, he's not going to start every game at them teams. Because United will start every single game. Every single game, I promise you. And that would be the thing. But it feels like United are a little bit yeah, we'll get Delap if Cunha doesn't quite work out, or Gyökeres doesn't quite work out, then we'll go and look at Delap. It's like they're still a little bit deluded, aren't they? They're still a bit deluded about how big they actually are. Nathan, guess who my Scottish team is? I said you were a Gers fan. You're a Gers fan, aren't you? Surely. Finn447. A big American guy worth 23 billion has joined the Everton board, and so has some NBA team head coach. Nice. Okay, mate. It's all good. It's all good. We've had this before, though, haven't we, with Everton? We all remember the Bramley billionaires. You know, we all remember all that. Farhad Moshiri was going to make you Premier League champions and all that. I think it's just wise to wait and see before anything like that happens. Everton have still got a lot of things to worry about. It's not just about... Oh, look, maybe I'm wrong. There has been a takeover at Everton, and maybe at the start of the season it will be... They'll spend an absolute fortune and prove me wrong. I think they've got a lot of obligations still to meet financially, and I think it's going to be a very, very tight summer at Everton. 42. Have you seen that scandal around Hazard's transfer? I haven't. No. What's the scandal? I thought I'd be correct. As soon as I saw blue on your profile, Nathan, I didn't think you would be a Hoops fan. Didn't think you'd be a Celtic fan with blue on your profile picture. Scouse House, everyone is welcome here. I know, but can't we block the United fans? No. Everyone is welcome on Premier League, Dad. Everyone is welcome on this channel. We have everyone. We have Coventry fans, Birmingham fans, Stevenage fans, Everton fans. We've got City fans. Actually, we've not got any City fans, have we? That's the one big club we haven't actually got any fans of. We have Chelsea fans popping in. We have Arsenal fans, regulars. Lots of Liverpool fans. Spurs fans, Everton fans, Derby fans, but no City fans. Isn't that really weird? Looking fresh. It's about time. I was getting wings. Went for my haircut today. Right. So, we're just about coming out for the second half here now. Hopefully we get some goals in the second half. I tell you what, there's people coming out there with some proper cuisine at half time. I don't know what the food's like at Stevenage, but some fellas just come out there with what looked like a 12-inch plate, like an Alan Partridge 12-inch plate. He had loads on it. He had chips. He had like a hog roast type thing. Blimey. Scouse House, we need to keep up appearances, mate. I'm joking. Unknown, all the Arsenal fans come out the shell when they win or when Liverpool draw a game. Yeah, they've been quite quiet. There's only Reece. We like Reece, but there's only really Reece been in, who's an Arsenal fan. Betis have scored. Rodriguez has just scored for Betis. They're 1-0 up now against Valladolid. Jesus Rodriguez. He's another one to watch out for. Jesus Rodriguez, only 19, isn't he? I tell you who else. Do you think Everton would take a look at Hadji Wright from Coventry? He feels like an Everton signing. Finn447, do you know who have the best food? Stockport, pie, mash, peas and gravy. Absolutely brilliant. I love that footy channel where it's footy scrans, is it? It's a channel who just goes to footy games and logs the food that they have available there, and all over the world as well, and it's proper good stuff, but it's funny as well, because you get like some grounds who just sell you like, oh yeah, it just looks like fair ground, cheap, the stuff that'd have you on the toilet for days after it. Reece, come on you Gunners. Finn, he's quite old though, isn't he? 27, 28. We need younger players, I think, with potential. Yeah, well, that might be the better strategy for Everton, mightn't it? To go for your 20, 21-year-olds and younger to try and build up the team. But you have to balance that, don't you, with keeping experience around him. And, Idrissa Gana Gueye has maybe been your best player or one of your best players this season. Speaking to Everton fans the other day, they seem to think Idrissa Gueye was up there with player of the season for Everton. So I just wonder who's going to be the senior leader in the Everton dressing room. next year. And how serious that injury is for Tarkowski as well, of course. I mean, will he be fit for the start of the season? It looked like a 3 or 4 months one. Bit like Saka's. Right, we're back underway. Oh yeah, Gay needs to sign that contract now. He's so good. Reliable, isn't he? Jake, Chelsea tapped him up like Man U never tapped anyone up before. Sure, Rooney was going to Newcastle before he was tapped up. Karmatic law is beautiful. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Jake. Nathan, guess who my favourite Rangers player is? Of all time, I don't know. I got to think who my favourite Rangers player is of all time. Gaza or Claudio Caniggia. I liked Van Bronckhorst as well. Van Bronckhorst was a good player for Rangers. But if we're talking about now, your current rate favourite, probably Igamane. Hamza Igamane. He's one for Everton. Hamza Igamane. He could be a good Everton signing. I like him. I think he could be a good fit for the Prem side. Birmingham pushing forward here. Out to Lee, the South Korean. Wonderful ball in. It's cleared away. Birmingham just getting the foot on it and exerting a bit of dominance now in the first few minutes of the second half. Gaza is right. 21, PSV 1, Atletico Madrid 1, Rayo Vallecano 0. Julian Alvarez starting for Atletico Madrid tonight, by the way, for those interested. There's big rumours linking him to Liverpool this summer. Big rumours. Finn, do you think we should sign Alcaraz permanently? Everton. Should Everton sign Alcaraz permanently? I think you should, but I don't think you will. Yeah, it doesn't look like Moyes fancies him. I think if Moyes fancied him and you know, thought he was going to contribute next season, he'd be playing him now. And the only reason I can think that he wouldn't be playing him now is that he's already happy with him and he's already definitely going to play him, and he wants to maybe minimise any exposure because there's a chance that other clubs might come in for him. And that just doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? But that would be the only reason. I think he's not entirely set on him. I think he's not entirely set on Alcaraz, and he's going to get rid of him at the end of the season. He'll go back to Flamengo. Oh God, Joey Barton played for Rangers as well, didn't he? Yeah. Less said about Joey Barton, the better. Great long ball forward. Birmingham are in down the right-hand side. Poor. Straight out for the goal kick. We can sign him for 12.5 million. I thought it was higher than that. Wasn't it? Isn't it higher than that? Yeah, so the Brazilian club, Flamengo, have said that Everton have a mandatory purchase clause. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's 12 million quid. But if Alcaraz starts in the last 5 games, then Everton have to buy him. So it's a mandatory. If they don't, then he doesn't. So that makes sense now why Moyes isn't playing him. I don't think he likes him. Nathan, I'm going for the shower, but I'll still listen to this. Cheers, mate. Good man. Zukanyetsamani over 1.5 possible. No. No, I don't think so. There's been... How many shots on target have we actually had in this game? Because I actually think there's not been one just yet. Don't think there's been a single shot on target in the game. There's been 2. Apparently there's been 2 shots on target. I can't remember a single one. Can't remember a single one. Do you support Manchester United? No, I support Liverpool. I support Liverpool, but I watch everyone. I love football. I watch everyone. Atleti and Betis winning. Yeah. Yeah, Atletico Madrid 1-0 up. Betis 1-0 up. Soroth with the goal for Atleti. And Rodriguez with the goal. Jesus Rodriguez with the goal for Betis. Watch Charlton. Do I watch Charlton? Yeah, I watch Charlton. I watched Charlton. I saw the highlights, certainly, the Charlton game against Wickham at the weekend. Doing very, very well, Charlton, actually. And I fancy Charlton to beat Wrexham as well. We was talking about that earlier. Yeah, I think Charlton will beat Wrexham. Charlton are class, to be fair. They are starting to play really well. The Addicts. Good club, Charlton. I remember them being in the Premier League as well. In fact, I remember them first coming up to the Premier League with Dean Kiley in goal, Martin Pringle, Johansson. Who else was there for Charlton around that time? Yeah, I can't remember. Loads, absolutely loads. I visited the Valley for the first time. Good stadium. Yeah, it's a nice place. Nice place. Again, I've only ever been past the Valley. I've never actually been in the Valley. Webbo, what I also support Wrexham because they are local. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yellow card here for Stevenage. Birmingham got a free kick just by the corner flag on the left-hand side. Let's just have a little look. It looked like a slightly late one. Yeah, he knocked it past. That was very cynical. Oh, it was really cynical from the Stevenage captain. Very, very cynical. It was Keshi Anderson on the left-hand side, and he just knocked. It was like Adama Traore. He just knocked it past Wilding, and Wilding just put his arm out. He knew he wasn't catching him, put his arm out and blocked him off. Immediate yellow card. Birmingham ball in here. Yeah, I don't mind Wrexham. Like I said, I was in a hotel with the Wrexham team the other week. Great ball in. Oh, roof of the net from Birmingham. Nathan, that's dedication right there. Absolutely. Finn, 447, gutted because it's hard to get away tickets. Only went Leicester this season. Yeah, aways are just wrapped up, aren't they? There needs to be a bit of reform with the whole ticketing thing. I'm actually debating getting a season ticket, or maybe, like, I probably won't do with this channel now, but I would have liked to go and get a season ticket at a lower league club. Someone like a Crew, or, yeah, maybe a Wrexham. Used to go and watch Altrincham quite a bit as well, at Moss Lane. Altrincham are not a bad club. Liverpool, Webbo, come on, Stevenage. Birmingham are just coming back into it in the second half. Jayden, boring game. It hasn't been vintage tonight, mate. But listen, hey, they're not all world beaters. They're not all Manchester United against Lyon. They're not all crackers. But listen, if you love football, then this is what you watch. You've got to see how these two teams are set up, and what their goals and objectives are, I guess, and how are they going to unpick each other. It's like a game of chess, football. It's like a game of chess, but a much better one. There's a bit more action. Football is the best in the world, absolutely. It's a game of chess where Stevenage. This is probably the best team, not like the best players, but probably the best team in the country this year, Birmingham. They have walked League One. In relation to their other teams, I mean, the teams, the competition, they are probably the best team in the country, and they're on course to break the English points record. So, for them to be coming to Stevenage and it be 0-0, Stevenage have to have defended very, very well. I don't know what you're laughing for. I didn't say they're the best team. Like, you could put them up against Liverpool or City or Arsenal and they'd beat them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying relative to the teams around them. Relative to the teams around them, they've probably been the best team. Brian Simpson, can't wait for Villa to update the North Stand to 50k Villa fans. Is the North Stand... Well, you've got the Holt End... The North Stand. I'm trying to think which one that would be. When's that happening, Brian? That'd be really good though, wouldn't it? Birmingham got a chance down the right. It's Keshi Anderson. Oh, it's come back to him. Is he going to get a shot away? There's 7 Stevenage defenders in the box. You're just not going to break them down. 7 Stevenage defenders in the box. Try saying that fast. Whew. Corin, do you think Birmingham can get promoted from the Championship? Chance of Birmingham, blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box by Stevenage. It's gone behind for a corner. Nathan, can you kick all the Celtic fans when they come in? Yeah, if we get any Celtic fans. I don't mind Celtic fans, they're alright. I want Stockport to go up so I can watch Championship next season. Nice. Villa Park's a great ground, underrated. Great ground, yeah, great ground, great club. Don't mind Villa. Callum, you're an Everton fan wanting a Manchester club to do well. What's wrong with it? Honestly, just Stockport and Oldham and Bury and all them. They're not... It's like a different side of Manchester, that. It's not... I know there's the old Scouser-Manc rivalry, which is all well and good. I probably don't get it as much because I'm a woolly back. I'm a wool. But... Oh, it's a great ball in. Unlucky. Cleared away. But yeah, I've not really got a massive problem with the other Manchester clubs. As I say, I've gone watching Altrincham for a bit. Altrincham are a good club. Oh, Stevenage here. Good tackle at the back. Good tackle at the back from Lee, the left back at Birmingham. He's been a cracking signing for them. Cracking signing for him. Support your local St Helens FC. Hey, St Helens produced a World Cup winner, believe it or not. Webbo, I really want City to be found guilty of their charges. I can't see it, sadly. Can't see it. Brian, after the season it will start, then should be ended in 2027. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Villa's newly redeveloped stadium. I'm a big fan of that. I want clubs to stay in the stadiums that they're in and redevelop them. That's the best way. Not move into new stadiums. I hate all these soulless bowls that are getting created. No offence to Everton, but again, I look at that stadium and it's not... And Spurs as well, like... I don't look at them and think that's a place to watch football, like that's a proper arena. It just looks corporate and stiff and... Do you not think? It's like we're ripping the heart out of the game. Yeah, United Stadium looks absolutely brilliant for making money. That's what it looks like. It looks like literally the whole stadium has been designed with PR and marketing and sales in mind. To knock down Old Trafford, even as a Liverpool fan, I'll be a little bit upset. That is madness. It's absolute madness. Can't believe Man United fans aren't as annoyed. Nathan, I'm going Rangers v Celtic next Sunday. The Old Firm. Nice, enjoy. And you're off to bed. All right, Nathan. No worries, mate. Take it easy. Have a nice night. We'll see you next time. And enjoy the Old Firm. Support your local Sheffield Wednesday FC. Callum, Old Firm again. How many are there season? 4 in it. You know what? Usually the Old Firm is about 6 in it. They'll play 4 in the league and then like 2 in the cups occasionally. So it's usually 5 or 6 times a season. They play every other week, don't they? Jaden, boring game. Yeah, Jaden. I know. Saying it's not going to make it any better. Corin, yeah, they all look like shops in the city centre. Support your local. Right, Stevenage have got the ball here. There's gonna be a goal in this game. I'm telling you, there's going to be a goal in this game. There is going to be a goal. I am telling you, there is. Stick with me. Stick with me. There's gonna be a goal. No shots on target for either of these sides in the second half so far, the commentators just said. Good ball into the area. Cleared away by Stevenage. Why aren't they just having some shots here, Birmingham? Just have a go. Oh, that's really poor defending. Anderson should have done better there on the left-hand side for Birmingham. Much, much better. Jake, I hate the idea of Newcastle having to build a new one to try and bridge the gap at the top 6 in revenue. FFP is a thing. This is going to happen. Nah. Listen, I don't think that's... Having an extra 5 or 10,000 in the stadium, like, I don't think it's transformative. It doesn't feel like it's transformative to a club. Or at least not as transformative. It doesn't move the needle quite as much as you might think. Support your local, you woolly back. I know, yeah. So I had a Liverpool fan in my comments today telling me that I'm an absolute hanger-oner. I'm an absolute hanger-oner and I sound like a mank. You've never been a game, you lad. You've never been a game, you. WHU Ev, hello, how you doing? Jay, Jay, what's your full-time score prediction? I think 0-0, sadly. I can't see there being too many chances coming in this game. I'm hoping there's going to be a goal. We're looking at 14 to 25,000 extra seats. Oh, great. I mean, look, if they get it, then great. There's a claim for a penalty here from Stevenage. They're not getting it. It's gone straight behind for the corner. Let's just have a quick look. No, it was a good tackle, that. Good tackle. David, my old son, which team are you thinking is going to win? I think it's going to be 0-0. I think it's going to be a draw. It's 63 minutes in. Stevenage have got a corner. There's not been many chances in the game. It's been a game of very, very few chances. So, Stevenage with the corner ball in. It's gone back to the corner taker. Oh, it's not. It's been cleared away. Dan, 306 888. It'd be hilarious if Brum don't get 100 points after all that money. Yeah, I mean, they will get a point, surely, in this game, you would imagine. 1 point is going to be enough. But if you're a Birmingham fan, if you're a Birmingham owner, you would want that historic 107 points, wouldn't you? There's 8 points left to play for. Sorry, 12 points left to play for. They need 8 to break the points record. 130 years of English football, 130 plus years of English football. And Birmingham could have the highest ever points total of any team. That'd be amazing. But yeah, as it stands, David, I think it's going to be 0-0. It's there's again a break in play here for. I don't know if is it changes. I think it looks like maybe Jay Stansfield's about to come on. A couple of changes for Stevenage too. Dan, I thought there's only 2 games left. No, there's 4 for Birmingham, mate. There's 4. Birmingham didn't play some games for some reason. Don't know if they got moved due to the cup or whatever, but Birmingham have only played 42. Most of the other teams have only played 44. You're right. But Birmingham have only played... This is their 43rd game. So, yeah, after this one, there's 9 points left to play for. If they can get 8, they can break the English record. That was the one, yeah, the Papa John's trophy. They got beat off Peterborough. Unbelievable goals in that one as well, weren't there? Posh scored 2 absolute worldies. David, I hope at least Birmingham get 1 goal. I am hoping 1 goal for either of these two. I think Birmingham... I can't even say I think Birmingham are the ones most likely to get it. Stevenage have done alright. Stevenage have played okay. It just looks like a bit of a... It's just, yeah, it's been very low on quality. That's been the problem here. And that's, honestly, that's not the case. When I've watched League One and the Championship this season, a lot of the time, the sides produce arguably better football than the Premier League sometimes. It can be better to watch. So this is probably an anomaly. There's often goals in the Championship and League One and League Two. This one's just got a weird feel about it. Birmingham down the right-hand side, cleared away. Yeah, I'm assuming Stansfield will come on at some point. Maybe even ex-Everton player Lukas Jutkovic, if you remember him. Corin, are you doing both FA Cup semi-finals? Yeah, we'll be doing both FA Cup games, absolutely. Arsenal have drawn 13 games in the league. Goodness me. Keshi Anderson coming off, Jay Stansfield coming on for Birmingham. We might see Birmingham score now. Now the main man's coming on, Jay Stansfield. Gaza, 88, are you a Stevenage or Birmingham fan? Neither, mate. Neither. I'm a Liverpool fan. But at Premier League Dad, we watch everyone. We love football. Everyone in the chat supports someone different. We have Championship games, League One games, La Liga games, Premier League games, Conference, Europa Conference League, Europa League, Champions League. We've got FA Cup games at the weekend. We're doing the El Clasico, Barcelona against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final on Saturday night as well. So if you like football, thank you for the follow, Gaza. If you like football and there's a football match on, chances are we're live. Betis 1, Valladolid 1. Right, Harris off, Williamson on as well for Birmingham. Chucky has scored for Valladolid. That's a blow for Betis. Still early, it's still only in the first half there. I tell you what I might do. Depending on what happens, we might turn this over. Once the game's finished, we're not turning the game over. Once the game has finished full time, I might turn over to Betis Valladolid and watch the rest of Betis Valladolid if people want to stick around for that. Gaza 88, I am a Chelsea fan. Nice. Do you think you're going to get the top 5? Do you think you're going to get Champions League football next year? And also, what do you think about Enzo Maresca? What are your thoughts on Maresca? A lot of Chelsea fans maybe not taking to Enzo Maresca. Do you think you can get in the Champions League next season? Do you think that Maresca's the right guy to lead Chelsea forward? And what are you hoping for as well in the summer? What positions do you think need strengthening? Tito Steph, what are your thoughts on the Netherlands League, the Eredivisie? I'm keeping an eye on it. 20 they were 1-0 up against PSV, but PSV have just gone ahead. It's pretty much wrapped up now, isn't it? Ajax should have won it, should have secured it by now. I was a bit surprised with Go Ahead Eagles winning the cup, the KNVB Beaker against Alkmaar the other day. Quite surprised at that, but I did bet on Alkmaar, so I should always have expected Go Ahead to win that one. Corin, I've watched you for 34 hours according to TikTok. Oh my god. Well, hey, I must be doing something right. At least we've got our first super fan. Cheers, Corin. Gaza, do you watch Scottish football games? Yeah, we do. I've not watched any just yet because I feel like the SPL's been wrapped up, hasn't it? Again, I think Rangers haven't had the best season domestically, so I haven't watched any this season. The channel is very, very new, by the way. We've only been going since January, really. So, I absolutely will watch some SPL next season. I absolutely promise you, if you're following me, if you tell some of your mates about me, we'll do an Old Firm game next season. We'll do a watch along of an Old Firm game too, because I don't mind the SPL. Anton, what do you think about Birmingham? Sorry, I forgot. I didn't see that message. What do I think about Birmingham? Yeah, really good club. Really good club. I like Jay Stansfield. He's just come on the pitch, so I'm interested to see how he does, because he's had a very good season. Stansfield's just down the left here. He's just been chopped there. That's got to be a foul. Is that Harding? Oh, Wilding, sorry. That might be. Oh, it's Sweeney. No, it was Sweeney. It was Sweeney. That was a bit naughty, that. I thought it was Wilding. He might have got a red card, but he hasn't. Jay Stansfield down the left-hand side. He just knocks it past Sweeney. And, yeah, he slid in. He nearly chopped him in half. So, it's a free kick to Birmingham, right on the touchline. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to skip over your question. I didn't see it, and then I just, yeah. But you're right, yeah. What do I think about him? I like him. They're a good club. I haven't got a problem with Birmingham. I quite liked, back in the day, when they were in the Premier League, I quite liked, when they were first in the Premier League as well, the likes of Christophe Dugarry, Walter Pandiani. Good players. Nicky Butt was playing for Birmingham for a spell, wasn't he, as well? So yeah, they're a club to watch, aren't they? They might break the record. Oh, unlucky. Free kick. It's a push in the back on the free kick. Grant Hanley, I think, with the foul. Corin, I think the Eredivisie should be top 5 leagues and take Farmers League, League 1 out. I think League 1's really good, you know. Atletico Madrid have just scored. Gala with the goal. PSV have gone 3-1 up now against 20. Do you know what? He's another player that Everton should be watching, I think. Shem Stein. He's an Everton signing. Sem Stein from FC 20 in the Eredivisie. Keep an eye out for him. K-Ton United. UNITED. Oh, here we go. What else have we missed? David Mayoton. I just bet money on Birmingham. Still can't believe Liverpool got beat by Newcastle. Listen, Newcastle were the better team in that game. They were the better team in the final. I've no problem at all admitting that. They deserved the win. Good luck to them. We were absolutely shocking. But they were very good. Even aside from the fact that we were shocking, and we were shocking, we looked knackered. Newcastle were better. They were the better team. They were great. Joe Linton and Tonali and Bruno in midfield were excellent. And Isak. I still can't believe that Dan Burn goal, to be honest. I still cannot believe that for the first 5 corners of the game, Newcastle just kept doing the same thing, pumping it to the far post, and Dan Burn knocking it back in towards our goalkeeper. And none of our defenders thought of, do you know what we'll do? We'll go and put someone on Dan Burn. No, we'll just put Harvey Elliott on him, or someone really Endo, or someone really small. Can't remember who it was who was marking him. The smallest player on the pitch. Let's go and put him on him. Absolutely stupid. Stupid. Corinne, I've always thought League 1 was a farmers' league. Bundesliga used to be, but not anymore. Listen, you say League 1's a farmers' league, but PSG, I think, are the best team in Europe at the minute. Or certainly the one of, even if you disagree that they're the best, they're certainly one of. And I think Marseille, we saw Lyon. Lyon gave Man United a game. I think Marseille are a very capable team. I think Monaco, Lille got quite far, didn't they, in the Champions League? So yeah, I don't think it's a farmers' league. Shot from distance. Wow, what a goal from Birmingham! It's an absolute screamer. It's an absolute screamer. It's a wonder goal. That's unbelievable from Birmingham. It's Cochrane. Alexander Cochrane from distance. The ball's bouncing. I think that's his first goal of the season as well. First goal of the season. The ball's bouncing. It looks like it's 35 yards out. And he catches it on the half volley. just dipping. Let's just watch this back again. It comes out, left foot. Oh, he cuts across it, catches it on the half volley, and it flies, bounces off the turf, bounces into the bottom corner. Keeper's absolutely no chance. Wonderful goal from distance. 1-0 Birmingham. There you go. Get in, Birmingham. Tito Steph, who do you like to win the champions? I'm hoping for PSG. I'd like PSG to win it after the what Luis Enrique has been through. I would quite like him to win it. Keaton, do you remember me? I do, mate. Yes, I do. Hotspur Army, if Tottenham got knocked out of the Europa League, what manager would suit us? Now, that is a good question, isn't it? That is a good question. What manager would suit Tottenham? I think Tottenham have got a really young group, haven't they? It feels like you've got a lot of talent in there that's just not quite been utilised right. Like, Van der Ven's young, Vicario's not old for a goalkeeper. You've got a Doggy, you've got Spence, you've got Archie Gray, you've got Bergvall, you've got Kulusevski still quite young, Matthijs Tel. You've got lots of young, talented players. Not to mention your Mikey Moores and those sorts of players coming through as well. So it's a really young group, and it feels like they would benefit from a Thomas Frank. So and do you know what? I thought Thomas Frank's deserving of he needs a big move. He's a very, very good manager, proper student of the game. And I think he would do really, really well at Spurs. Plays a good style of football. He might even be able to pinch you and Burmo as well. But I think what will happen this summer, Brentford's one to watch this summer, because I think if Wissa and Burmo go, I think after Tony going last season, I think Thomas Frank is well within his rights to go to that board and say to him, listen, you keep selling me best players. Like, this team is only going to go backwards. If we keep selling our best players, we don't reinvest in the squad. Feels like they've not really they've not put as much of that back in as perhaps they should have done. They've had a few signings that have done quite well. I think Sharda could kick on. Damsgaard's been a good signing. I think Vandenberg's actually going to be a good signing for him from Liverpool. He's done all right. But Collins as well. Collins has been a good signing. I just think they need to show a bit more ambition to keep Thomas Frank, and I expect they won't. I think Mbermo and Wissa are almost certain to leave, and Thomas Frank might get a little bit peed off. So I expect he'll leave. Yeah, and if he did leave, Spurs would be a good one to watch for him to go to. Corin, when my best mate Chiesa came on and changed the game. Corin, is it true Spurs are looking at Scott Parker? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Not now, not with Burnley. Not with Burnley in that position. Maybe after, if he keeps Burnley up and they do something well, they kick on, then maybe Spurs would look at him. But Spurs fans wouldn't be all that excited, I would imagine, about Scotty Parker. Hotspur Army, do you think Birmingham will get 5 more points? Well, they only need 4, don't they now? Oh no, they do. They need 5 more points. Sorry, talking nonsense. Yeah, they would need 5 more points out of a possible 9 after this, assuming they were to win this game. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think they could do. Yeah, they could go and get 5 points. Who are the last games of the season? Let's have a look. Birmingham's last games. They've got Mansfield at home. They'll beat Mansfield. Mansfield are kind of... They're not safe, but they're 5 points clear of Bristol Rovers. So they're not desperately in it, Mansfield. But I think Birmingham will beat them. It's at Birmingham as well. It's at St Andrews, so I think they'll beat them there. They've then got to go to Blackpool. That might be a point. That might be tough. Blackpool's not a bad team, and they're probably just out of the playoffs, aren't they? They're just out of the playoffs. So, they're not mathematically out of it. They probably are. So I think Birmingham will get a point away at Blackpool, at Bloomfield Road. And then they'd only need a point, wouldn't they, away to Cambridge on the last day of the season, and Cambridge are basically already down. So, yeah, they'll get the 5. 42, Ten Hag would end their trophy list. Ten Hag's one to watch. Yeah, Ten Hag would be a good one for Spurs. He'd be a good shout for Spurs. David Myotone, my money got double. Nice. David, I think Barcelona will win this year. You think so? Okay. I still think PSG. Barcelona would probably be my second. Barcelona will almost certainly beat Inter Milan. After watching Inter Milan in that Coppa Italia last night, I watched Inter against Bologna. We didn't do that as a watch-along, but... Oh, that's a handball. That's got to be handball. That's got to be handball. How does he give that as a free kick against Birmingham? It's a penalty. That has to be a penalty. There's a ball going into the box here. Jay Stansfield's running onto it. It looks to me like that's handball. That should be handball and a penalty. The Stevenage defender goes like that and pushes the ball away. Oh, that's handball. That is handball. That is handball and should be a penalty to Birmingham. And probably a red card. That is mad. That is so mad. That's why VAR has to be in the lower leagues as well. That is insane. I can't believe that wasn't given. Can't believe that wasn't given. It's not a penalty. Hotspur Army, I would actually take Thomas Frank. Yeah, absolutely. Tito Steph, did you hear about Darwin leaving Liverpool? What do you think? I wanted him to succeed. Yeah, I'm sad about Darwin Núñez. I think he would have been a really, really top player for Liverpool in another set of circumstances, maybe a different manager, maybe a different setup. He could have been a really, really top player, but it just didn't work out for him. And I think he'll go somewhere else. I hope he doesn't go to Saudi or to Qatar. I hope he stays in Europe and goes to somewhere like an Atletico. That swap actually could work, couldn't it? Oh, wow, unlucky. Stevenage with a free kick. They went for it. It was one of them where he feigned to whip it in for a cross, and he went near post. Nearly tried to catch the keeper out, but it's gone behind for a goal kick to Birmingham. Yeah, I hope he stays in Europe, and I think that might be one to watch. Darwin Núñez to Atletico Madrid with Simeone, and Julian Alvarez to Liverpool in the opposite direction. That could work. That could suit both teams, because I don't think Alvarez is all that happy at Atletico. And I think Darwin Núñez under Diego Simeone, he's exactly that temperament, isn't he? He would do so well there. Or he would get sent off every game. One of the two. Abby Manu, let's go. BCFC going to win. Teach me some BCFC chants. I'm a new fan. I'm not a Birmingham City fan. Abby Manu. That's not me. I'm a Liverpool fan. But I watch all teams, so I watch everyone. So if you love football, whoever you support, go and subscribe to Premier League Dad. Callum, awful take. Go and watch golf. I definitely will not be watching golf, Callum. Absolutely not. ADHD Life with Adam. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sharing that, mate. Appreciate it. Alvarez to Liverpool, not a bad shout. I think that is what's going to happen. We've certainly targeted Alvarez in the past. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who we go for in the summer. Who's that? Kieran Dowell. I thought he looked familiar. Ex-Everton midfielder Kieran Dowell has just been yellow carded for Birmingham. Stevenage on the attack here. Can they keep him out? There's only 5 minutes left. Wonderful ball in. Good defending at the back by, I think it was Ben Davis. Ex-Liverpool Ben Davis. Here's Kieran Dowell driving forward. Good play in midfield by Stevenage. It was White in midfield. Abby Manu, you'll never walk alone. Yep, same to you, buddy. David, you're also right. PSG also in higher playing, but Barca also have chances. Just look real. It can be everything. Yeah, every one of them could have a chance, couldn't they? Arsenal, you can't rule out. Inter, I have to say, we watched... I think I've already said this, haven't I? We watched the Coppa Italia last night. We did a live watch-along. of Inter Milan against AC Milan, and AC Milan won 3-0, 4-1 on aggregate, and Inter Milan were terrible. They were dreadful. And I think if they play like that against Barcelona in even one of the legs, they'll get smashed. They get absolutely smashed. Go and watch cricket. That's not very... What's up with you tonight, Callum? You're usually so kind. We are going to switch over... As soon as this game is finished, there's 5 minutes left in this, we're going to switch over to Betis. I'm going to switch over to the Betis game. So we'll do Betis against Valladolid. It's only half time in that game, so we'll stay on for a little bit longer if people do want to stick around. We'll do Valladolid against Betis. Cleared away by Stevenage. Good chance there. Yeah, we was going to do a live watch along of Betis against Valladolid anyway. So once this is finished, we'll switch over to La Liga. If anyone fancies sticking around for that. It's a very big game in La Liga, that one. Betis currently sat in 6th, having played a game more than Villarreal in 5th. If Betis were to get the win, I think they need to. They need to get the win, especially with Villarreal dropping points yesterday against Celta Vigo. Flashlight 44, only Birmingham left in my ticket, over 1.5. Do you think I can win? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's been one really clear chance in this game, and it was in the first half to Birmingham. Birmingham have only scored because one of their midfielders smashed it in from about 35 yards out. It was a fabulous goal, a really, really good goal from Birmingham to put them 1-0 up. And I think if that didn't happen, this would have finished 0-0. I know that's an obvious thing to say, but they weren't creating any clear chances. Stevenage haven't created any clear chances. They are still pushing forward, Birmingham. You know, there's still a chance. Jay Stansfield has made a difference since he's come on. Good ball in. Chance for Birmingham. Williamson, good block at the back there by Sweeney, I think. Punts it long. Anywhere will do for Stevenage. They're just trying to keep it to 1-0. Ryan, thank you for the follow. David Mayoton, how do you think about PSG and Nice? Up a goal or lower? Obviously, PSG have already got the league done, haven't they? They've got that wrapped up. Nice, they're still trying to push for Europe, maybe. PSG might be tempted to rest players, obviously for the Champions League game against Arsenal. So I said last night that because of that reason, I thought Arsenal would rest players, and I thought that would mean that it would be a low-scoring game against Palace. And it ended up being 2-2 and a really good game. So my gut tells me that PSG Nice maybe will be 1-1, but it might actually be closer to 2-2 or 3-3. It might be a high-scoring one. So I'm honestly not sure, David. I do think that Nice will get something, though. Let me say that. I think Nice can get something at the Parc des Princes. Please, one more goal. Flashlight 44. Let's see. Ryan, are Birmingham confirmed champions? Yes, mate, they're confirmed champions. They were confirmed as champions about a month ago, weren't they? Yeah, they're 16 points clear with a game in hand. Oh, chance for Birmingham. Oh, just over the bar. Just over the bar there. He got right underneath it. I think it was Dowell again, wasn't it? 4 added minutes. 4 added minutes here. Yeah, they're 16 points clear, Birmingham. They're now over 100 points. They've broke the 100 points barrier, which is, rare in English football. And they need 5 more points to break the points record of 107 points in a single season. Unbelievable. Corin, I've just a crazy thought. I'm not saying they should do this, but imagine they did a championship. What do you mean? Imagine they did a championship. Right, Stevenage are pushing forward now. They are taking a few more chances in these last few minutes. Things were first and second automatically get Champions League and third and fourth, fifth and sixth level playoff. Oh yeah. Like they do in like in Belgium, for example. Yeah, that would be better. It's a corner to Stevenage here. Corner to Stevenage. They might just be able to pinch one. These days, Aston Villa really on fire, says David. Yeah, Aston Villa are playing really, really well. They did really well against Newcastle. They unlucky against City, I thought, to lose last minute. But it'll be interesting to see how that affects them. Stevenage corner. Header back in. Bit of head tennis around the edge of the area and cleared away. Shot from distance. Miles over. Miles over the bar. 2 minutes to go. It was Alex Phillips with the shot. It wasn't Alex Phillips, it's Daniel Phillips, isn't it? I thought Rashford scored in the opening seconds of the match. I know, yeah, off the post, wasn't it, Rashford? Did really well in that game. Right, we've got 2 minutes left. Well, a minute and a half left. A minute and a half left. Birmingham sat on 102 points. Quite a few people in the chat are looking for Birmingham and over 1.5. Hanging on here. Oh, that might be close. Oh, it was a very slow back pass by Stevenage, and Stansfield was chasing it down. Very nearly got onto it. Good ball forward. He's given a free kick to Stevenage here for some reason. We're into the last 60 seconds now. Stevenage are sending everyone forward. They're getting them all forward here. Everyone's going forward. I think this might be the last chance. Last chance saloon here for Stevenage. White is going to knock it long. Can they pinch a point? Not confident. It's a long ball in. Comes out from distance. Whoa, goodness gracious me. It was a shot from... Was it White again? White has just had a shot from about 30 yards out again. Low and hard on the volley. Almost similar to the goal scored by Birmingham. With the left foot. Opens his body up. And it's a wonderful shot. Good save by the keeper. Low down to his left. Ashby Hammond tips it wide. It's a corner to Stevenage. They're going to take it quickly. Claim for the penalty. They're not getting it. And I think that's full time. The rest blown up. Yeah, that's it. 1-0. 1-0 to Birmingham. The game's done and dusted there. And Birmingham move on to 102 points at the top of League One. Blimey. Right. We're gonna switch. We're going to switch to Betis. We're going to switch to Betis. If anyone wants to stick around, we're going to go to Real Betis against Valladolid for the last... Well, it's basically the second half. It's basically a full second half of football there. So we're going to switch to that for a second and see how we get on. Right, give me 2 secs. Let me change it over. Right, I'm back. Corin, do you think Kai Havertz is a good number 9? Do I think Kai Havertz is a good number 9? Yeah, I think he's a good number 9. I just don't necessarily think he's the right number 9 for Arsenal. He's a very, very capable number 9, isn't he? He's just probably not the right profile. I think they need more of a finisher, don't they? It's just not him. It's just not him. Right, so Betis are on Premier Sports 2. For anyone who's interested, who wants to switch over, Betis are on Premier Sports 2. There you go. Brilliant. We're on. Betis. Hey, we're on. Right, let me change the scoreboard. We can change the scoreboard now. Stood up to the back stick, unlucky. Stevenage versus Valladolid. It's like a proper pre-season fixture, that, isn't it? Right, hang on a sec, because I've got Real Betis already, haven't I? Have I got Real Betis? Surely I've got Betis. Where's Betis? I haven't got Betis. Okay. Very nearly handball there. Right, it's 1-1. Not 2-1. It's 1-1. And we're on. Let's get the old scoreboard actually right and squared up. There was a claim for handball there. They're not going to get it. You know what, we'll just call it Betis and Valladolid because that looks too cramped. Okay. Hey, don't forget to start the clock. We've done it. Right. We're actually live now. People will be a little bit confused because they'll come on and see Stevenage and Birmingham and they'll see Betis and Valladolid, but who cares? We've switched over to a proper La Liga game here now. Betis against Valladolid. Betis really, really need to turn this round. It's going to be a difficult one for them to... I mean, even Vallecano, you know, they're 2-0 down at Madrid. Vallecano could have had European football tonight if they'd have got a win there. But Valladolid are rock bottom. This is as bad as it gets for Betis. This is a gimme. This is 3 points nailed on. If you can't beat Valladolid, who are 17 points from safety, this is worse than... This is like Southampton. Just looking at the lineups, by the way. So it's Adrian in goal for Betis. I'll just talk you through the lineups very quickly. Adrian in goal, ex-Liverpool. It's Yusuf Sabali at right back, Mark Bartra at centre back with Nathan Rodriguez. Ricardo Rodriguez, you might remember for AC Milan. He's at left back. In midfield is Pablo Farnals, who you might remember from West Ham, alongside Johnny Cardoso, who we've also talked about. Rodriguez, the goal scorer, is on the left. Isco through the middle in that number 10 position, with Manchester United's Anthony on the right. And Cucho Hernandez up front. Lots expected of Cucho Hernandez as well. Obviously, coming from Columbus Crew, having played really well over there. He's not quite kicked in at Betis. He's scored a couple, but he's not quite had a great start. From a Valladolid point of view, it's Ferreira in goal, Asnu, Sanchez, Comert and Perez, Juric, and then Moro, Amala, Anuar, Chucky, and Juanmi Latassa up front. Latassa, a Real Madrid product, isn't he? Come out the Real Madrid academy. Cody Smith need Betis win and Vallecano to score. I think Vallecano to score is going to be a rough one. Yeah, I don't see Vallecano scoring at Atletico, to be honest, mate. Corin, do you think Branthwaite will leave? Almost certainly Branthwaite is leaving. Oh, there was a VAR check. There was a VAR check for something. There was a check for a potential red card, but it's been cleared. Yeah, it's been cleared. You're not getting a red card for that. That's madness. It's absolute madness. Wasn't Lanzini ex West Ham? Yeah, Lanzini's ex West Ham. He's at River Plate now. He's at River. Hillary Coyle, 103 points, pal. Absolutely, Hillary. Yeah, really, really good, that, isn't it? Massive for Birmingham to still be chasing that points record. To break 107 would be huge. Tom, Anthony is the GOAT. Again, this is the first real chance I've seen, to be honest. A first real opportunity I've seen for Anthony to... You know, in a Betis shirt. I've seen bits of him. I saw him in the game against Barca, but this is the first time I've really watched him in sort of real time, I guess. So I'm interested to see how he does. Sky Sports. Oh, that's bad. Sky Sports. I understand that Arsenal. This is breaking news. Arsenal have started contract talks with Thomas Partey over a new contract. That's not very welcome news, I think, from an Arsenal point of view. As good as he's been, you want to be moving Thomas Partey on. You want to be moving Thomas Partey on and going getting someone new to replace him. Anthony for the Ballon d'Or. Tom, is that Johnny supposed to be the next big thing for Betis? Should Liverpool be all over him? I think Johnny Cardoso is a very, very good player. Yeah, he's an exceptional player. We was talking about him earlier in the live. There's a little bit of the... Again, it's probably big praise, too big praise, but he reminds me a lot of Michael Carrick. He's just the way he picks the ball up and moves it on. He's a very intelligent midfielder. Isco breaking the lines. That's good play. Offside. Yeah, so I think he probably will come to the Premier League at some point. I think he will move on. Kind of depends. Again, you would look at where Betis are going to finish. If Betis get 3 points today, and they have to get 3 points. They're playing bottom of the league. If they don't get 3 points against these, they don't deserve the Champions League. But yeah, they have to get it wrong. They have to get him right. Corin, Arsenal. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he supposed to be going to Spurs? There was certainly rumours, yeah. There was certainly rumours linking him to Spurs. Yeah, he's a very competent central midfielder. I don't think Spurs would take him now. Or at least I don't think he would be interested in going to Spurs. Because they've got that many midfielders. They've got Sarr, they've got Bentancur, they've got Bergvall. They're not going to play, obviously Basuma as well. They've got too many in there, Spurs. So Cardoso's probably not a good fit. Chance for Valladolid. Whoa, very nearly 2-1 here. Very nearly 2-1 for Valladolid. Betis are playing dangerously here. Tom, what striker do you think we'll get for Liverpool? You assume? Are you on about? I assume then, if we're going for a striker, we're going to go for someone slightly different to the ones we've got, because I don't think he likes Nunes, and I don't think he really all that values Jota. So I just think Julian Alvarez is the player we're looking at. I really do. I think Julian Alvarez is the player we've been interested in before. We know the club likes him. We know that, the transfer committee. We know that Liverpool have gone in for him before, and it just feels set that that Atletico Madrid, he's not loving his time there. We want to get rid of Darwin Núñez. They want to maybe they don't want to get rid of Alvarez, but they might be open to a sale. I just think that's a really good fit. Alvarez coming back to the Premier League with Liverpool, I can really see it happening. So I'd love us to go and sign Julian Alvarez. Really would. Corin, do you think Nico Williams is signing for Arsenal? Whew. No, I don't think he is. I think the more that Gabriel Martinelli is playing, the way that Arsenal's signing profiles changing a little bit. Martinelli started to come back into the team and started to play a lot better. This time, maybe 6 months ago, all the Arsenal fans were slating Martinelli. Not even 6 months, 3 or 4 months. 3 or 4 months ago, early part of this year, they were slating Martinelli. They were saying he was shocking. He's awful, him. We need to move him on in the summer. All of a sudden, he's had a few good games. He has actually started playing really well again. And I think that might have just changed who Arsenal go in for. I know they'll probably move Trossard on. But they've got Wanuri and Saka on the other side. They've got Martinelli. I don't think they're going to go for someone as high profile as Nico Williams. I think they're far more likely to go and get another Trossard, maybe. Matt G, Preston keeper Freddie Woodman replacing Tom Heaton in United squad for next season. Interesting. Hey, that's another ex Newcastle player, isn't it? Freddie Woodman. Tom, yeah, but we're going to have to pay big money for him. Depends if we do a Darwin Núñez swap deal. If we did Darwin Núñez plus maybe 20 million quid for Julian Alvarez, that'd work. That'd suit both parties, I think. FM No Casuals need Betis as well. Should I turn this off now as well, mate? Turn this off. There's no more goals coming in this one. Rodriguez off. Romain Perrault on. Tom, do you think we'd go back in for Anthony Gordon? I think Anthony Gordon's desperate to come to Liverpool. Yeah, he's absolutely desperate to come in. The only problem is with Anthony Gordon is he's not had a very good season at Newcastle. He was exceptional last year. This year he's been a bit and I just wonder if that might have affected Newcastle's valuation and whether or not they'd be a bit more willing to see cents on that? Or are they still going to be demanding big cash for him? Because if we went in for Anthony Gordon last year, we'd have probably been paying 80 million quid. This year, I think we'd probably maybe be able to get him for 60. And that might be all the difference between whether or not it happens or not. Reece, we don't need any more wingers or midfielders. Spend the big money. It's money on a big striker. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, mate. I think that's likely to be the approach as well. Arsenal spend most of their budget now on centre forward, and that makes me think actually they might go big for Isak. Because especially if they're going, offering Partey an extension as well. Think of it like that. Betis just playing really, really well through the lines here. It's come off Perro and gone and back out. I thought they might have been able to counter-attack there. But Valladolid are actually pushing forward quite a lot. It feels like... Maybe, do you know what? They're already down. They've got nothing left to play for, Valladolid, have they? So there's just a little bit of that throwing caution to the wind. They're not bothered. Might as well just go for it. Isco. He's another one. He reminds me a little bit of Asensio he didn't really capitalise on the ability he had. Wasted a lot of his career at Real Madrid. Oh, it's in. It's in. It's Cucho Hernandez as well. It's exactly what I was saying. Cucho Hernandez. He's not had a great start to his Betis career, but it's 1-0. 2-1, sorry, not 1-0. It's the first goal we've seen, but it's 2-1 to Betis. There you go. Betis back in front. That's a goal. That's a great goal. Cucho Hernandez. Absolutely brilliant, that. And the heads have dropped for Valladolid. 2-1 Betis. That now puts them back into the top 5. That puts them above Villarreal, 2 points clear of Villarreal. Albeit Villarreal have a game in hand. But it's a goal. It's 2-1 Betis. He's onside. There's no problem at all with it. And the header is different class. That was a wonderful header. Yeah, great goal, that. Brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. Betis, the ex-Premier League legend. I know it is, isn't it? It's like Masters football. It's like Masters football watching Betis. It's a great header, though. Really is a brilliant header. Brilliant header. It's I don't know who was it. Who actually put the cross in? Was it Bartra? Looked like it was a ball in from Bartra down that right hand side. He's kind of gone off the radar a little bit, hasn't he? But yeah, Cucho Hernandez now. That's his 3rd goal in 9 games for Betis. Big move to Europe. Did well at Columbus Crew in the MLS. Nathan. Yeah, this is all Betis now. They're going to kill these off. It's down the left-hand side here. They've obviously come out second half with a little bit more about them. Good ball into the middle. Oh, that's lovely football. Oh, that's insane. Oh, unlucky. I thought if he'd have passed that back to Isco, then it was on. It was fabulous little one-touch stuff. Really good. Anthony, down the right, pulls it back. Isco, oh my goodness me, what a goal. What a goal. When I tell you this is a great goal. Oh, Isco, you absolute beauty. It's 3-1 Betis. 3-1 Betis. Oh, it's an absolute beauty. Wonderful, wonderful team goal, that one. And just 30 seconds before that, they cut them apart. They cut them apart before that, and they just got that final pass wrong. They got it cleared away, Valladolid, and then they just recycled it. Betis, they did it again, knocked it down the right-hand side. I think it might have been Bartra again, actually. I don't know who it was on that right-hand side. Who's the right back? Whoever the right back is of Betis, got down that right-hand side, pulls it back from the byline, about to the edge, maybe more like the penalty spot, and Isco just slots it in. Slots it in, right into the corner. Keeper doesn't even dive for it. Great goal. Wonderful goal. It wasn't even the right back, it was Aitor. It was Rui Bal. Lovely, lovely finish that from Isco. Anthony with the hockey assist as well. Anthony getting involved in the goal. I think Anthony got involved in the second as well. So 3-1 Betis. We've seen 2 goals already, having watched 15-20 minutes of this game. Yusuf, welcome back. Good to see you, Yusuf. Good to see you, mate. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's been one of them nights, and Stevenage and Birmingham wasn't a particularly enthralling game, but we saw a wonderful goal in it from Cochrane. Anthony's down the right hand side here. Brilliant play by Anthony. United aren't getting him back. It's great play by Anthony. He looks a different player, and he's won a corner as well. Does he give a goal kick for that? Yusuf, congratulations for the 20th Prem. Cheers, mate. Can't say I did much to help, but thank you. I appreciate it. Right, it's a corner to Betis. No, it has been a corner. Corner. FM no casuals. I think it's because he has a free role at Betis. Plus, let's face it, he's happier. Well, yeah, and it just in the sunshine as well. Seville is absolutely beautiful. It's such a gorgeous place to live. That's in an ideal world, I'd love to see out my days in Seville. The most beautiful, picturesque city I've ever been to. Really lovely people as well. Always hot. I wasn't a massive fan of the Roman Sanchez Pizjuan in Seville. I wasn't a massive fan of that stadium, but I like this one. Preferred this one. Definitely a Betis fan, not a Sevilla one. Great ball down the left-hand side. Chance, that might be a penalty. How's he not give that? This ref. It's worse than the one in the Birmingham game. That Birmingham ref couldn't even see a clear handball. That was a penalty, that. Yusuf, do you think Osimhen will sign for us? I always say this, Yusuf. I think it still depends on whether or not Manchester United win the Europa League. If you have Champions League football next season, maybe. If you don't have Champions League football, then I think you can wave bye to players like Osimhen and maybe Cunha too. Yusuf, I hope that. Yeah, obviously lots of Man United fans some of them expect to win the Europa League, but I think Athletic Bilbao. We watched a little bit of Bilbao. We've done watch-alongs with Bilbao, and they're a very, very good team. Very well organised under Ernesto Valverde. Very, very disciplined defensively. They've got Spain's number one in Unai Simon. Obviously, we know Nico Williams, Inaki Williams, Oyan Sanset. They've got a lot of very talented players, and yeah, I think Manchester. It's going to be a different type of game than the Lyon game. The Lyon game was crazy. What did it finish? 7-6, Lyon. 7-6 on aggregate. There's no way there's 13 goals in that Bilbao game. I would be amazed if there are four goals. I would be amazed if there's 5 goals, let's say, across 2 legs. I don't even think there'll be 4, to be honest. I think that the 2 legs with Manchester United and Bilbao will probably end maybe 1-1 and 1-0. Or maybe even 1-1 and 0-0. And it might go to penalties and extra time. Corin, I'm back. Oh, you've had a couple of goals. We've had 2 wonderful goals. One by Cucho Hernandez and another by Isco. Very, very good goals as well. The first one by Cucho Hernandez, cracking header. And Isco's was just a really well-worked goal. Proper good football. Really football. Really football. Total football is what I meant to say there. Do you think Arsenal get Gyökeres? I don't think they go for Gyökeres. Well, if what's happening with Thomas Partey signing a new contract, and what we heard Reece say earlier as well, by the way, that Arsenal fans don't want to spend money on a winger, they don't want Nico Williams now, they don't want that, they're happy with Martinelli again, and they don't want to spend too much money on a midfielder, evidently, because Thomas Partey's about to maybe re-sign a new contract. If that's the case, and they go big for a centre-forward, then it can only be Isak or Gyökeres, can't it? They're the 2, surely. They are the 2. Do you know what would be hilarious if they went and got Kane from Bayern? Imagine Arsenal went and got Kane from Bayern. Oh, that would be well funny. Bilbao will win 4-0. Bilbao haven't got that many goals in them. I'm afraid to say I don't see Bilbao scoring 4. Yusuf, it will be a bang if United win and Bodo Glimt win. Look at Mauricio Pellegrino. Not Mauricio Pellegrino. What am I talking about? Manuel Pellegrini. Mauricio Pellegrino. He's ex-Liverpool, isn't he? Manuel Pellegrini. Atletico Madrid have scored 3-0 against Rayo Vallecano, and it's that man. It's Julian Alvarez, the new Liverpool centre-forward. You watch. Alvarez. He's just scored for Atletico Madrid. Griezmann with the assist. Conor Gallagher's already scored in that game as well. Corin, Kane will be the new Sol Campbell. Do you think so? I think if he went there, I think Spurs fans would obviously, they'd hate him and all that sort of thing. But there's a little bit of a I guess because he's gone via Bayern, and he's not the same. He's not the same player anymore, is he? He's still a very, very good centre forward, but I just wonder whether he could justify that move to Arsenal at the end of his career. And he's Arsenal Academy, or not Arsenal Academy, but wore an Arsenal shirt, didn't he, when he was younger? He was obviously an Arsenal fan. He must have liked that Arsenal team. Reece, give me Harry Kane, ex-Arsenal Academy. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was getting at. Probably just didn't word it all that well. But yeah, Harry Kane. Because if you're gonna push for a Premier League title, and Harry Kane would want an immediate Premier League title to come back, if you're looking for the missing piece, Harry Kane's probably it, isn't it? That's exactly who Mikel Arteta wants. If you could create your ideal Premier League striker, it'd be Harry Kane. It's just whether or not Bayern could be convinced to shift him. If you could go and get him for maybe 50 million quid, do you reckon you could get Kane for 50? Go and get Harry Kane for 50 million quid. I genuinely think Arsenal would go to they'd be the title favourites then. Yeah, I think at that point I would start to think, okay, fine, they're serious, they're going to win it. Because 50 million quid for a 32-year-old or whatever, it's madness, but it also makes perfect sense because he just guarantees you goals. He would come back, he would score 20 goals in the league, easy. He's a leader, he's absolutely perfect for it. That's exactly who Arsenal should be going for. Kane can score, but he can't win leagues. He'll win one this season. He'll definitely win one this season. Oh, Chuki, that's lovely play to dive afterwards, though. Good play, though, by him. There's so many really, really good players in La Liga. Like, so many really, really talented players. I get so much more enjoyment watching this than I do the Premier League. That's really good play again. Anthony, shot, unlucky. Imagine that Alvarez was a backup striker. Yeah, I think Liverpool are going to get rid of Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota this summer. And then we'll probably go and get... Alvarez is obviously one that's been heavily linked, so we'll see. Corin, I'm so glad that Bundesliga isn't a farmers league anymore. Will, has Isco still got his form? Remember when he played for Real Madrid? He played brilliantly tonight. Just in the 25 minutes or so I've watched, he scored, he's linked things up really, really well. He's always done that all his career, hasn't he? He's always had a goal in him. He's always been able to kind of cut teams open, and that number 10 position so well suited to him. I think he's made the wrong choices in his career a lot of the time. I think that's been the big issue with Isco. Should have left Real Madrid a lot sooner than he did. Because how old is he now? He must be early 30s, 32 maybe. 33. Yeah, 33. He was at Madrid for basically 10 years. And obviously won a load of stuff, but I just feel like to play, he averaged in his time at Real Madrid, he averaged like 25 games a season, or 25 appearances a season. They weren't starts, were they? But 25 appearances a season. Corin, do you think Alvarez will sign for Liverpool? I hope so. I don't know about if he will or not. It's whether or not Atletico Madrid can be persuaded to move him on. Alfie Burnett, why don't you like blades? I don't have a problem with the blades. I like the club. I just don't like Chris Wilder. And I don't think they're a good enough side to really stay in the Premier League. I'll be honest with you, Alfie. I don't think they're good enough to win the Premier League. Obviously not. But I don't think they're good enough to come up and stay. I think it would be a bit of a wasted position. So, and I don't think that's the same for Burnley or for Leeds. And I think it would probably be a wasted position for what it's worth. I think it'd be a wasted position for Coventry and Bristol City as well. I think they would go back down. Sunderland, I think, have got potential to maybe, with a couple of players, a couple of signings, they could be all right. I don't feel the same about Sheffield United. I just don't think they're as good. I'm sorry. And Chris Wilder, I think, is not a great manager. To be honest, he's not the best. To Alfie, 10 points clear of third, 20 points above sixth. Yes, that's fine. I mean, didn't Burnley get like 100 points the other year? Came up to the Premier, they went straight back down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference whether or not you're suited to the Premier League. Your points totals have no bearing on that at all, buddy. Have absolutely no bearing on it. I think Sunderland have got a better set of players there that could kick on and become Premier League players. You know, your Bellinghams, your Riggs, Ballard. You know, I think they've got some talented young players there. I think with Sheffield United, there's a lot of players. There's not enough grit in there. That's the Hamer aside, I think Amadodzic is not as good as you need him to be for your main centre back. Alfie, but you're trying to say we aren't good enough makes no sense. No, I'm not saying you're not good enough for the Championship. I'm saying, all right, well, look, if the whole point of Sheffield United are going to finish third, right? You're going to finish third. There's every chance you don't go up. That doesn't necessarily mean that those teams, 4 teams below you, were better. It just means that they beat you in the playoffs, right? And what I'm saying to you is, Sheffield United will be the third best team in the Championship this season, but I don't think you've got the necessary players to adapt to the Premier League. That's all it is. Nor the manager. So I think there would be too much change required for Sheffield United to stay up, and I'm not quite sure that they'd do it. So I would rather see Bristol or Coventry or Sunderland come back up than Sheffield United, because I think there's a better chance of them. Well, Coventry and Bristol City just for the novelty of it, just because I think they'll probably go back down, but it'd be good to have them back in the Prem, because they're clubs we've not seen in the Prem for ever in Bristol City's case, or 25 years in Coventry's case. Sheffield United, we've seen you in the Prem for dozens of times, it feels like, and you keep coming up, you keep going back down. Chris Wilder's just not a massive fan, mate. Not a massive fan. Alfie, 20 points clear from Cov. Stats don't lie. No one's questioning the stats though, are they? No one's arguing that you're 20 points clear of Coventry or that you're better than Coventry. As I've said, Coventry will probably go back down. I would absolutely agree that Coventry would go up and probably go back down. Same with Bristol City. But it would be a good little journey, a good adventure for them in the Prem, and to have a new team in the Prem. So I'd like to see him come up just for that. And maybe they prove me wrong. But Sheffield United, I just don't see it being the same thing. I don't see it at all. No problem with the club. Great club, Sheffield United. Really good club. No problem with it. Yeah. I'm just not a huge fan of the playing style of Chris Wilder. Fuck, what a goal that is! Woo-wee! 4-1 Betis. Romain Perrault, 4-1. Unbelievable goal. Unbelievable goal, that. That was sensational. Again, fabulous play down that left-hand side. Just a little 1-2. They cut Valladolid apart. Oh, it's a stupendous goal, that. Absolutely incredible. That was great. Alfie, no one's good enough, hence the team's relegated this year from the Prem. The gap's too big. The gap is not too big. The gap is not too big. There's no evidence at all to suggest that the gap is too big. And it's madness to suggest otherwise. The 3 teams that have come up have only gone down. The 3 teams going up and the 3 teams going down, that's only happened 3 times in the last 27 years. It's happened twice in the last 2. But before that, hasn't happened since like 1997. Michael Wilkin, unfortunately, we will never be good enough to be in the Prem. We will always be a stepping stone. Who's your team, Michael? Who's your team? Alfie, Leeds were good enough for 2 seasons. Forest, good enough for 3 seasons. It's crazy. It baffles me when people put this argument forward. Like, 2022-23 Premier League season. It was Fulham, Bournemouth and Forest came up. Fulham, Bournemouth and Forest came up 3 years ago. Where are those clubs now? You got one who might be in the Champions League next year. You might have the other 2 in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. So all 3 clubs that came up 3 years ago could well be in Europe next year. And people tell me that there's no upward mobility between the Championship and the Prem. It's absolute nonsense. The teams that come up always go down. It's happened twice in the last 2 years, fine. But still, twice in the last 27 as well. It's not a pattern. It's an absolute rarity that happens. The vast majority of the time, the teams that come up, at least one stays up. Betis are in again. It was nearly 5 there. Betis are all over these. We're in the last 5 minutes here, but they're absolutely flying. You're a Coventry fan, Michael. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Coventry, the game against Plymouth the other day was really disappointing. We did that one. We did a watch-along of Coventry and Plymouth. I don't know what happened there. You just didn't really turn up. And we did the West Brom game as well. We watched the West Brom Coventry game. You played really well in that. It was just weird the way you turned up at Plymouth. I think you will get the playoffs, but I imagine Sheffield United, assuming you finish 6th, I imagine Sheffield United will beat Coventry over the 2 legs, sadly. Alfie, we finished 9th 3 years ago. Yeah, isn't that evidence that what you're saying doesn't really make any sense? That the gap's too big. You've gone from 9th to, potentially coming back up again. And other teams that have come back up are now challenging for Europe in the Premier League. There's a huge amount of upward mobility. FM No Casuals, how about teams stop doing these crappy rebuilds and just have a go for... I'd just rather teams maybe... I don't even necessarily believe it's the having a go factor. I actually would rather teams come up and maybe accept they are where they are. It feels to me like a lot of teams rush. That's what I thought Southampton did this year. I think you've got to kind of recognise where you are as a team. You're going into the Premier League. It's your first team in first league season back in the league. I think you need to kind of recognise that, this is going to be a bit of a fight. We need to make St Mary's the hardest place in the league to come, the place no one else wants to come. And the way that we do that is by making it a bit of scrap and disruptive. We're not going to beat them on the deck. We're not going to beat teams that are playing at this level. They're 2 and 3 steps quicker. They've got faster players, stronger players. They've played at this level, a lot longer. Southampton going up that level, it would be weird to think that they'll just, we'll just play our normal game. We've played out from the back all season in the Championship, so we'll just keep playing out from the back. Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. That's where you need to be really pragmatic and say, okay, no, we're gonna turn it into a proper physical battle here. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me at all why Sheffield United fans necessarily are considering the gap to be too big. I don't think the gap's too big at all, and I think if they came up, then they could stick in the Prem, but I just don't think they would. Oh, it's 5-1 Betis. I tell you what. The quality of goals we have witnessed in the second half here, the quality has been unbelievable. Is that Ezalzouli? Ezalzouli, ex-Barcelona, isn't he? Unbelievable goal. 5-1 Betis. No, Kuram, no, it was Abdel Alzouli. Southampton were unprepared, so were Leicester. I think Southampton and Leicester, both of them, didn't... Oh, just watching this goal back, it's a great finish. Great finish. Couple of step overs on the right-hand side, cuts inside on his right foot, and just doesn't even get any backlift. No backlift. Just passes it with the outside of his foot. Skims along the ground. Number 10, Abdel Zalou. I'll never get his name right. I'll never... Ezalzouli. Abd Ezalzouli. Ezalzouli. Abd Ezalzouli. Right, yeah, there you go. Abdi. That's what they call him. Abdi's on his shirt. Michael, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I was sick and tired of fan channels where it became a bit of an echo chamber. It was either all Liverpool fans or all Arsenal fans or all City fans or whatever. And then you'd occasionally get rival fans coming in, giving it all that. So I've created Premier League Dad where we just love football, right? We've got every single set of fans in the chat. We all just banter each other. We all have a laugh. We have a general chit-chat about all topics in football. Everything. We cover absolutely everything, and we have a good little community in here. So if you love football, if football's your thing, if you like watching all sorts of games, we've done Stevenage against Birmingham tonight in League One, and we've switched it over to Betis against Valladolid. Tomorrow night we're doing Stoke against Sheffield United. So we're going to be watching Sheffield United tomorrow. Alfie. Betis in it again here. This could be 6. Anthony could be in here if he gets his head up. Hit it, Anthony. Corner ball. Nice trim, by the way. Thank you very much. It didn't take long. I could have put my head out the window driving home and it'd have blown off, to be honest. There's not much left of it. Thank you for that, Kuram, as well, by the way. You're a top guy. Defo a community to be proud of. Yeah, we've got some nice people, haven't we? I mean, well, not even some nice people. Everyone's nice. We get the occasional interloper, but we generally everyone kind of pounces. We all deal with them together, don't we? But we've got a nice little community of people here. And it's 5-1. There's 3 minutes left. I've added on time. And it's not angry, biased watch-alongs. They're reasonable, fair debates. And I hope you would agree, not like ridiculously over-the-top dramatic reactions either. I'm not. We're not playing for hits here. We're not playing for views. Hence why I didn't watch the Arsenal game last night. We watch the games that make the most sense. Betis just passing this. This is a really big win for them. Really, really big win. 5-1. And that's probably going to help them in terms of goal difference as well. Where does that leave them? Atletico Madrid have won 3-0. Right, Betis now. Betis are +9. Villarreal are +10. So yeah, they probably needed this big win. Who've Villarreal got left? Villarreal have got Espanyol next. Then Osasuna, that'll be a tough game. Girona away, tough game. Leganés, they'll win. Barca away, they'll lose that. And Villarreal, Sevilla, last day of the season, 25th of May. 42 is a bit controversial. Hey, listen, he's alright. We've got to have some United fans in there. Michael should do a watch Luton versus Coventry watch along. Massive game for both teams. Yeah, I was thinking about that, to be honest. Is that Saturday, Luton? It is, isn't it? 12:30. Nah, see, I was debating whether or not to do Luton Coventry, but I can't justify it. I think we're going to do Chelsea and Everton, mate. I'm going to have to do Chelsea and Everton. We've got too many Everton fans in the chat as well. So I can't not do Chelsea and Everton. But I'll certainly be keeping an eye out on Luton Coventry. It's the early kick-off, isn't it, on Saturday? We've got to do that. Got to keep an eye out for it. FM No Casuals love watching Betis. A great team, great club. Play a great style of football. The rest blew up here. Rest blew up. It's 5-1. It's finished. Finito Benito. Betis 5. Valladolid 1. How's that? Corin, yeah, you're not jumping out your chair going chill, what? Just what a goal that is. Yeah, it's how you'd react if you were in the stands, innit? How you'd react if you're actually in the stands and in the stadium. Nobody throws chairs around and all that, unless it's like a proper last minute winner. And maybe in the last minute of games when Liverpool have scored, I've looked a bit daft. But yeah, that United when Maguire scored in the last minute at Lyon, all I did was what everyone else who watching that who didn't want United to go through, everyone else just went, they've done it. Luton versus Coventry playoff final a couple of seasons ago. Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. End of the season, Coventry against Borough. That's going to be a big game. Final fixture of the season in the Championship, Coventry v Borough. That might yet be a playoff. That might be a playoff. Thanks for the follow, Michael. Good to have you, mate. I don't know why the clock's still going. That's done and dusted. Right, so tomorrow night, heads up, tomorrow night, there's no games on. There's no games on in the day. There's no games on in kind of the early evening, no 5, 6 o'clocks. So we're going to go with Stoke against Sheffield United, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I wonder if our mate Alfie will come back. My heart sank when you said they'd do. Your heart sank. My heart sank. Yeah, so Stoke v Sheffield United tomorrow. We'll be live for that. It's a kick-off at 8 o'clock, so we'll be live at 7. And we'll do the build-up and everything, and we'll talk through all of the bits and bobs. Chuck, coming directly from your video regarding not wanting Wilder and Blades in the Prem. Well, we're live tomorrow night for Sheffield United, Chuck. We're going to be live doing a watch-along, Stoke, Sheffield United. To see how that one goes. Not sure it's founded in great logic. Why not? Why not? It was entirely subjective. There's no logic to it. I don't like Chris Wilder. There's no logic to that. I don't like Chris Wilder. I don't think he's a particularly good manager. And I don't think Sheffield United have got the wherewithal within that squad to compete in the Premier League. So I think it would require an awful lot of change that I'm not sure that will actually happen. That's my opinion. That bit, maybe you can say is not great logic, but the third best team in the Championship doesn't always come up. And even the fact that they've finished on a much higher points total than... We've just had Alfie come into the chat as well. You said that you'd prefer a team that's either good underdog or played good football. Yeah, Sheffield United haven't played good football. Sheffield United have not played good football all season, or I would argue otherwise. You may disagree. I'm assuming you're a Blades fan. I've watched Sheffield United a number of times this season. Watched them the other day against Cardiff at home. It was a dreadful game. Took 2 big deflections for you to beat Cardiff as well at home at Bramall Lane. Didn't think it was a good performance. Didn't think it was a particularly... against a team that was really struggling as well, by the way. I'm not having a go at Sheffield United, the club. Love Sheffield United, the club. No problem with them. Like Sheffield United. One of my closest friends growing up supported Sheffield United back in the Michael Tong, Michael Brown days. No problem with Sheffield United as a club. I just don't really rate them as a team right now, and I don't rate Wilder. You've bounced up and down as a club. I'm also looking at it, mate, just from a... Probably it won't make a lot of sense to you, I guess, but from a point of view of someone who watches the Premier League for a living, my job is to... So I would rather watch a different team. I would rather watch a Bristol City or a Coventry, even though Sheffield United, I would agree with you, they've got a better chance of staying in the Prem than those two. Sheffield United, I think, will go down. Bristol City and Coventry, I think, will go down. But I would rather watch the other two because it's 2 new stadiums back in the Prem. Coventry haven't been in the Prem for 20-odd years, 25 years. Bristol have never been in the Prem. So it's novelty with those two. Sunderland, I think, might have a better chance. Might have a slightly better chance. Chuck, there are bigger teams in the Championship that deserve that spot. Well, there's that argument as well as, Chuck, I'll be honest with you, there's that argument as well. Every time I see Bramall Lane, it doesn't seem to be full. Every single time I've seen Bramall Lane, there's loads of empty seats in Bramall Lane. It feels like we're going to get a Manchester City version of the Championship up. So, Wilder delivered this first time round and finished 9th, better than Parker and Farker have done. Yeah, but Farker, again... I imagine you've not seen the channel before, but we've had loads of conversations on here. We think Danny Farker's not a good manager. We think Daniel Farker needs to probably leave Leeds, and probably will leave Leeds around Christmas time. I think Scott Parker, he's done a slightly better job at Burnley than I imagined he would, so he might surprise me. I don't know. Ben, do you think Leeds will stay up? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think Leeds will. I think Leeds will stay up, actually. They've got the bones of a very good team there. I think they need some changes. They definitely need a new keeper. They've dropped Melier, haven't they? Elan Melier is not he's not even in the squad anymore, really. He's on the bench. They're playing Carl Darlow there. I think it's almost set for them to go and get a new keeper, whoever that may be. Maybe a Quivine Kelleher from Liverpool, someone like that. If they were to go and get a really solid keeper, they've got some really, really talented centre-backs there. I really rate Joe Rodon. They've got Ampadu's experienced. I don't think he's necessarily a Premier League centre-back, but he's experienced enough. They've got Tanaka, I think is a very talented player. They've got Nonto, we like. There's, Pirro, I'm not sure if he'll convert to a Premier League centre-forward. I think there might be a little bit of the Bamfords about him. But I think they've got a core there that Leeds can probably be gritty enough to stay up. I don't know. We'll see. Chuck, I can understand and respect the opinion of wanting to see new teams get a chance. It's a lot of it is that, mate. It's nothing personal or nasty. As I say, I've no issue with Sheffield United. I just don't really rate. It's more about Wilder, than honest. I don't really rate Wilder. That probably is a little bit personal, actually. I don't really rate Wilder. Don't think he's a good manager. Every time I've seen him go anywhere, he's had, he's just got a big mouth. I don't really think he's got the ability to back it up as a manager. Maybe I'm wrong. And look, if Sheffield United do come up and I'm wrong, then come here and laugh at me. It's it's all good. We have a back and forth. I've been wrong plenty. I've only been doing this channel for 3 months. 3 months ago, I set Premier League. 4 months, I set Premier League data. And I've been wrong plenty of times already. And believe me, the chat let me know about it. So don't profess to be an oracle on it, mate. It's just my personal opinion. I don't think Sheffield United are the right team to come up, or they're certainly not a team I want to come up, because I just don't think they'll stick. That's my view. Maybe I'm wrong. But yes, listen, we're live tomorrow night for Sheffield United. Stoke against Sheffield United tomorrow night. 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll be live from 7 o'clock. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like football, if you're a football fan, doesn't matter who you support, come and give us a follow. Go and follow us on YouTube, Premier League Dad. You can watch us live there. And watch us live on TikTok, wherever it may be that you're watching this. Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Insta, YouTube. We're live across them all. Yusuf 5-1 for Betis. Yeah, Betis played amazingly well, mate. And it was 1-1 at half-time. 4 fabulous goals in the second half. Really, really good goals. Corin, are you doing any other games? There's no other games tomorrow. Honestly, there's no other games. There's a 7:30, Stuttgart and Heidenheim. PSG and Nice is 7:45. There's Brøndby in the Danish Super League. I can't justify that. I think there's one in the Eredivisie. There might be one in the Eredivisie. Yeah, Valvik against Utrecht. That's a 5:45. I think we'll probably leave it, to be honest. I think we'll probably just leave it for tomorrow night, and we'll do Sheffield United away at Stoke. So we'll just have one game tomorrow. We've got 4 games on Saturday, by the way. I'll do that quick reminder. Saturday, we're live for 12 hours. It's going to be a massive day. I'm streaming pretty much all day. Chelsea against Everton, 12:30. 3 o'clock, Newcastle against Ipswich. 5:15, Palace against Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final. And then once that's finished, I might have half an hour break there, because then we've got the Clasico. Real Madrid against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final on Saturday night. That's going to be massive. So we'll watch that. On Sunday, we've got Manchester United away at Bournemouth. Liverpool at home to Tottenham, where Liverpool, yes, can claim the Premier League. We're going to watch that over the Nottingham Forest City game, which stupidly kicks off at the same time. So we'll just have to keep updated on the Forest and City game. Once that's finished, I might do Napoli against Torino, which is the late kickoff in Serie A. Napoli really chasing Inter at the top of Serie A, so we might do Napoli on Sunday night, and then on Monday, Leeds against Bristol City will be the game we'll do. So we'll do that one on Monday. Leeds Bristol. Corinne, what about FA Cup on Saturday? Yeah, we're doing the FA Cup on Saturday. We are doing Villa and Palace, yeah. Villa and Palace is the 5:15. So Chelsea, Everton, Newcastle, Ipswich, Palace, Villa, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Those 4 games, it covers a 12-hour period. I'm pretty much live all day Saturday from about 11 o'clock to midnight. Borough, opinions on Middlesbrough. Oh, you've absolutely threw it away, haven't you? You have absolutely thrown it away, Borough. Obviously, you got that last-minute penalty at home to Plymouth. Tommy Conway sticks that away. And then, I was baffled. When you go to Sheffield Wednesday, I'm thinking if you win that, especially with Coventry getting battered at Plymouth, oh, you've absolutely shot it in the foot there, Borough. So, yeah, I think Borough probably miss out on the playoffs now as a result of that. Let me know what you think, though. Do you think that's the case? As it stands, you're 3 points behind Coventry, and your goal difference is +10. Coventry's is +5. Is that right? Fair, +5. So you've got a better goal difference than Coventry, but I don't think you're going to make up 3 points in 2 games. So I think Borough's probably going. Yusuf, which teams will be in the Prem next year? It'll be Burnley, Leeds, and I think Sunderland. I think Sunderland are going to make it. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that it's one of Bristol or Coventry, but I think Sunderland might just do it. My only concern with Sunderland is whether or not they can turn it on as quickly as they've turned it off, because they've been crap for the last God knows how long. They've fallen away. I think Sunderland have lost. They lost to Blackburn. They lost to Bristol City, didn't they? They lost to Swansea. And they drew before that with whoever it was. I can't remember. I think they've won once in like the last 5 games. They've had a bad run of form, Sunderland. And that's largely because they already knew they had the playoffs. They were secured in the playoffs. So they've switched it off. And I think that's going to be a problem for them to see if they can actually turn it back on again. Michael, Borough have a top 3 squad easily. You just need to get rid of Carrick. He's holding them back massively. That's interesting. I wouldn't have said that. I mean, I would have thought Carrick is one of the reasons Borough are where they are. Defensive errors, I think, have been a big problem for Borough. And that's... It's kind of... You can't really legislate for that as a manager, can you? The guys at the back for Borough, the guys who you would have expected to really sort of protect them, your Vandenbergs, and even Travers hasn't been all that good in net. Hackney's not been at his best either. Grant, my club Sunderland have already confirmed playoffs, and we didn't want to risk injury. I know, Grant, but this is the old Manchester United dilemma. Thanks for the follow as well, by the way, Grant. This is the same dilemma I've been having with Manchester United fans. Manchester United fans keep going into the league and they keep losing and dropping points. They lost to Wolves. They think now that it's all right. We're not bothered. We're not bothered. We're worried about the Europa League. We couldn't care less about. You can't keep losing games, and then you go into Europe and just expect to be bang on it again. Your form is so important, and I think Sunderland, having lost whatever it is, 3 or 4 games in a row, if you now go into a championship, a playoff, a big playoff game against a Coventry or it'd be a Bristol City, wouldn't it really? I'd be worried that you'd just turn it back on. That would be the concern. You've got a lot of quality players there. You've got, your Isidores and Bellingham, Neil, Rigg. Lots of very, very talented players in that Sunderland squad. Ballard at the back as well. Yeah, I think you've got a lot of talented players there. It's just whether or not you can switch the form back on. Michael, not having momentum going into the playoffs can be really costly. Absolutely, that's it, mate. You called it. Absolutely right, Michael. Bang on the money as usual. Right, who's the sponsor? I'll tell you the sponsor. In fact, I'll message you. I'll message you the sponsor. But the sponsor will be live on the channel within the next few days. So yeah, I'll let you know. But it'll be live. You'll see it in a few days' time anyway. Right. I am going because it's 11:15. I've got to get to bed. I will see you all tomorrow. If you're back tomorrow night for Stoke against Sheffield United, come and give us a follow. Again, if you love football, give us a follow. Get over to YouTube. Make sure you search Premier League Dad and subscribe. And I'll see you all tomorrow night after another big night of football. Stevenage 0, Birmingham 1, followed up by Betis 5, Valladolid 1. Great games. Have a good night, everyone. Take it easy. See you tomorrow.